striking.
Hello and welcome back to the lethargic episode of Loosely Related.
Lethargic. Yes,
Yeah,
we are
we're-
lethargic.
We just had Thanksgiving, right, and Black Friday, and we're dragging a little bit, but we're gonna. The show must go on.
The show must go on.
The show must go on. So I'm joined by always as my colleagues here to the left. I got Joey.
What is up, guys? Hope you had a good Thanksgiving. Welcome back to the show.
Yeah, Joey, how are you feeling?
I'm good, man. You know, I think my brain is so slow from all the gravy. It's just the gravy. That's what it is. Let's be honest. Turkey's got its thing, but when you're just, I don't drink beer. I just drink the gravy mostly. So yeah, after a while it adds up, and then my brain just moves slow.
That's
but,
from ferment. We ferment the gravy in the basement sometimes, and Joey drinks it all. We never have any because he drinks it all. Every time I go to get the gravy's gone.
That's
exactly.
it. There's no gravy.
There's no gravy.
Joey, by the way, is doing this for you guys because this is not what I saw when I got here this morning.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
This is for everybody else. I literally woke up and Rob walks in. I was like, "Hey, man, I just woke up. What's going on?" I was pretty sure Rob was like a figment of my dream world, my dreamscape. And I'm like, "Okay, Rob's here." I usually dream about Rob, so I just it made sense.
I can understand that.
Yeah.
In this version, you knew it was reality because I wasn't any skinnier.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And to my right is
you didn't
my
have
other...
any more hair than you know.
No, I'm wearing my hat today. Right?
Good.
Yeah.
If I wear my hat long enough, they'll forget what my head looks like.
Yeah.
And to my right is Joe Hassett.
Hey, welcome back to the show, folks.
Joe, how are you feeling today?
I'm good, man. I chilled out all day yesterday. Everybody else went shopping, and I stayed
did.
home, watched Netflix and Disney Plus and
huh?
movies, and hung out, did some stuff around the house, and that kind of stuff. I did the dad stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Did you get anything done, or did you just binge? Well,
No, I
that's what it
actually
sounds
did.
like.
I actually did.
Really?
Because I actually got stuff done.
Oh, you went to Lowe's though. Oh,
No, I
you
did. I
go
get
to
sucked
Lowe's.
into
You
Lowe's,
did go
man.
shopping technically.
All right, so I had to take the garbage to the dump, so I took the garbage to the dump, and then Lowe's is right next door. Like I said, the dump's there. Like I always go to the dump, hang out at the dump for a little while. And then I was going to go to Orange County Shoppers, but I said, now let me skip over Orange County Shoppers and go right over to Lowe's and see what's going on at Lowe's, because I was going to see what they had as far as cool tools. I was going to look for a Dremel tool maybe, or like some sort of cutting tool, or just some cool stuff. But I go into that store, I can't get out of the store. It's like
it's a vortex.
It's a vortex.
They know exactly how. That's like every dad is in that store. Because you're all walking around with your dad face.
Yeah. And it's like you want to buy everything
like
you see.
robots just walking around.
And this guy, I'm over by. I was even looking at the Christmas trees.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe I'll get a new Christmas tree because ours is so old.
It is old. It is old, yeah.
And I was like, get one that I don't have. I could just pull out like an umbrella and just go whoop, and it's just there, and it has the freaking lights on it and everything.
Dude, we had to invent that.
They have those.
Like the way
they have them with the lights on.
how
and
it goes in.
They're
Like
kind of expensive, but they have them.
They have them. You just take them out of the box and you plug them into the wall, and that's the end.
You ever see you just plop the tree,
just plop the tree down, and it's like, oh shit.
So I wanted to do that. So I'm looking around, and one of the guys comes over to me and says, "Oh, sir, can I help you out?" And I said, "Yeah, could you do me a favor? Please help me get out of the store because I can't get out. Once I come in this place, I can't get out." And he starts laughing,
All right, so
I went there for like one thing. I ended up, I was there like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Of course you were.
It's a vortex.
Molly's at home dying. She's probably, she's starving to death. And
it's a little caption over her head. Dad's at Lowe's.
Dad's at Lowe's, yeah.
Dad's at blows.
But yeah,
all right, and not to be forgetting our producer back there is Brian.
Mr.
Brian, welcome back.
Welcome back, Brian.
We had our first ever Thanksgiving with Brian. I don't know if you saw. We have some pictures from that. We'll throw up some on the Instagram.
Is that on Instagram,
we have the
Brian?
1 or 2, right?
What?
We got, there was the one of us sitting on the couch, but
we
were all kind of out of it. And I think, again, it was one of those things where, like, is someone taking a picture right now? I have no idea what's going on. I have too much gravy.
Yeah.
If you're wondering why I was out of it, just look at the bottle on the table.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there you go. And this is, this is the culprit. This is
right there.
The
Angry Orchard,
gun.
man.
So it's Angry Orchard, and what's this? Some kind of says the Muse.
It's discontinued right now. When I went in, I think it was the end of September, I went to the Angry Orchard thing.
Yeah.
During the Treehouse taste testing, they had this thing called the Muse. It was sweet. I loved it. And they were like, this is getting discontinued. So I was like, uh-oh. I went in and I bought like 2 bottles of it.
Really?
And I drank that whole bottle last.
You did.
Yeah,
I had like a
Thursday.
little bit of it, and Brian was like, "Yeah, no, I'll finish the rest." It's fine. I was like, "It's good," but
It
I'm
says
not a big hard cider.
effervescent and bubbly. I hope it doesn't have any hallucinogenics in it.
That was a fun time, man. Right?
Yeah.
That
Now
was
it
a
makes
fun
sense,
time.
Rob.
We had a fun time.
Yeah,
It was a good time.
We were
Thanksgiving.
laughing our asses off in that.
Playing
we were
some
playing.
games.
We were playing
Telestrations,
Telestrations.
Heads up charades.
Heads up,
Heads up
charades.
Oh, I like that.
You ever play that?
Which one is Telestrations?
Telestration is the one where it's like everybody gets a little booklet, and you can play with like 12 people if you have the party pack like we do. And everybody just like you write a word.
Oh,
and
you get a
draw,
card, and on the word
and
you
then
got to pick.
pass it to the person to your next, and the person has to flip back, and you either guess or you draw.
Oh, I think I played
based on
that
what the
here
person
one time.
does. Yeah, you did. Well,
Yeah,
Yes,
okay.
you did. Yeah.
And
Okay.
it's so funny.
Oh
Because
yeah, with Kristen and Maddie.
With Maddie, yep.
It got a little dirty.
Got a little dirty. What else?
It
was
went
there with
dirty
Maddie?
so fast.
So
it was like
fast.
ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
It didn't even waste any time. It just
Exactly.
plunged right into the X-rated.
It usually
crap.
goes-
Dude, we had like
goes that
what did
way.
we have? It went from like zoo to
Yeah.
like SpongeBob SquarePants.
Funny.
We had one that
No,
was
I started with the
werewolf.
SpongeBob SquarePants.
We had one
Yeah.
that was werewolf, and it went to
like cat on a stilt.
cat on
Cat on
stilts.
stilts,
Cat
which
on
was so
stilts, which
funny.
was hilarious. Yeah, man.
That sounds like a good time. Great
Dude, how was your
illustrations.
Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
Rob?
It was good. I went to my father-in-law's, hung out with my sister-in-law's baby Leah. She's so cute. She's
Yeah.
a little
Oh, that's
ginger,
adorable.
little just under 2-year-old ginger. She's so cute.
Gingers. Yeah.
Yeah, she's a ginger.
Right.
It is so bright too, man.
Yeah.
And then just typical crap.
Nice.
I had the
man.
gravy and stuff. You know, I was kind of bummed. We brought. Everybody knows the best part of Thanksgiving is like the leftovers, right? You pass out for a few hours, you wake up, you're like, I'm hungry again.
Yes.
You wander like a bear over to the fridge to see what's going on. I found I'm getting out mashed potatoes. There's turkey. That ham. The ham was I love freaking ham.
Dude, I love
I
a good
love ham.
Roasted ham.
And then they did the ham mostly in the crock pot, but then they put like half of it in like a pan and like made it all crispy in the oven. Oh my god, it was so good.
Yeah,
Oh
huh?
my god, I'm literally getting hungry right now.
Dude,
That's
seriously,
awesome.
I ate your ham this morning, by
Yeah,
the way. Thank
but
you. I
yes,
appreciate
yes,
that
you're welcome
sandwich.
for that. You're welcome for that.
Thank you very much. I feel better now.
Good.
Yeah.
I put that bread right in my belly, and now I'm starting to feel tired.
Yeah.
again.
All right, we'll take a break now. We'll be back in a little while.
A little while. We're back next Thanksgiving.
So anyway, so I get it all out. I heat it up, and you know what? I was like, son of a bitch, where's the gravy? There was no friggin' gravy. I had all that food, and I wanted to just smother it in gravy. I was like, where's the? I was
Isn't
like,
that the
I barely
worst?
wanted to eat it after.
It's
I was
like the worst. It's
oh.
like you get so disappointed, you get yourself all set up, and then you don't even have the gravy for it. It sucks, man. You're lucky you even had anything, because I think I think the only thing we had left in our refrigerator, because of course we ate at my sister-in-law's house, so we brought some stuff home.
They must
The
have
only
a
thing
nice
that was-
spread, man.
Oh, they had it all. It was awesome, man.
Yeah.
But
John's
the only
has
thing that was in
good
my
food,
fridge
man.
was a
He
big
does.
bag of freaking stuffing. That was all that was left.
Oh yeah,
I'm like,
hilarious.
"What- you know what? So anyway, I think Kathleen's going to be making like tomorrow. I think she's going to do
Some kind of like
we're going to do our own
little
Thanksgiving. So our
Thanksgiving
second
thing.
Mini
So
giving.
our loosely related Thanksgiving. That's
yeah,
what
it's our
it is.
second
So,
second dinner.
Second.
Oh my gosh! I don't know if you guys had seen this before, but now that you're saying stuffing, we had a little get together at my job last week.
Yeah.
I've never seen this before. They had, typical stuff, and we have a lot of Hispanic and Spanish people at my job. So we had like pernil and arroz con dulces and etc. And then some like
Empanadas.
empanadas. Oh yeah,
That's because
of
you're
course.
okay.
Dude, it was so good. But someone had stuffing, but it looked like a giant bag of just crap, just like dry ass bread. Have you seen this before? And like a jar of water with it.
What?
I'm like, what
wait.
the hell is this? And they're like, oh, that's stuffing. Like, if you need more stuffing, you just like add
the
this,
water?
you wet it up, and then you like mush it
what's
in.
Like
called?
instant stuffing.
It looked like a bag of dry ass
it's
bread.
probably-
That's what it looked like.
Probably instant
I
stuffing.
don't even know what the hell you call it. No, stovetop looks way more like sophisticated
Yeah,
compared
yeah.
to
No,
this crap.
yeah,
That's
but
hilarious.
yeah.
This was a jar of like dirty water and a bag of like dry ass bread.
You drink the water and then you pop the stuff in your mouth.
That's pretty lazy. I mean, is that what it's come to? Gravy me.
You have to gargle it. Just gargle it.
That's what Rob will be
you
doing.
seen-
Like tomorrow, he'll get back to his refrigerator. I'll have the jar and the stuffing there, and he'll see him just pour it, and stuffing it in his mouth.
Walk over to watch the Giants game. Just sitting there popping stuff in his mouth, drinking the
Oh,
water.
damn, we're gonna miss the Giants game. Oh well.
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
That
I'm
was
like
really
trying to. I can't.
Look, bag of dry ass bread
Bag of dry ass
Yeah.
bread.
and jar of dirty water. That's what it looked like. And everybody else
Top
looking at
result.
me like everybody knows what it is. Yeah, that's it.
What was it,
Added
like a
stuffing.
chicken broth, or was it just plain water?
I don't know. It looked like some of the drug urine samples.
Really? Maybe that's what it was.
that's
Maybe it
what-
was a
that is what
sample.
it
It
was.
just somehow somebody
I
brought
don't
it in,
know,
forgot
man.
it
Yeah.
there.
I forgot to bring gravy. Let me just grab this sample
Yeah,
here.
this looks like stuffing.
So,
That's awesome, man.
anyways, I
Oh, but let me tell
Yeah.
you, the freaking party. Of course, I didn't have any turkey. I stayed away from the
Oh,
turkey
yeah.
because I
The
wanted to stay away
tryptophan?
from the tryptophan that's in the turkey. But
the tryptophan.
I just had he makes a filet mignon roast every
yeah,
year.
he does. That was amazing.
That was
Shut the
great.
hell up.
He does. He really
It's
does.
delicious,
he made a
man.
filet mignon.
Dude,
roast?
Every
he
year?
goes to
Every year.
Stu Leonard's.
Stu Leonard's
in,
down in Yonkers.
That fancy
down in
crap.
Yeah, and he buys a literal like a.
yeah, it's right by Costco. I
huge-
think.
That was
Yeah,
good, right,
it's right
Brian?
by
Did you have
Costco.
that? Did you have the
I
steak?
don't remember any of the food.
Oh, he doesn't remember that freaking
I was
apple cider.
Brian was
man,
time
he done.
traveling.
He was time traveling.
I don't
too.
think he
I was at
remembers
the
what
end of the
happened.
table, so I just ate whatever came my way.
Yeah, right.
So
All
you
right.
know, I
Dude,
think it
he
was
made
like
a filet mignon. Holy crap!
Yeah,
I did
yeah.
have it though. I
knew
think
he
it was
put out
pretty good.
stuff.
Yeah, it was good. Good, John. Thank you very much for that.
Oh
man.
yeah,
Amazing.
seriously.
John, I'm coming next year.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
I wish you guys should all come next
Yeah,
year.
I've
yeah.
invited
That'd be
myself.
awesome.
And it's fun. They'll have you down. No problem, man.
Oh my
Yeah,
god!
man.
Yeah, the
If you weren't
couple
going
Super
anywhere, I
Bowls
would've
I
had
went
you
there,
down.
they had some good food, man. It was good.
That's awesome, man. I'm glad.
Yeah.
Good, man.
Yeah.
So thank you for all the delicious food, all our families and friends who participated.
Yeah.
Making it. Stephanie did a great job. Her brother Mike actually helped out a lot. He did a lot of stuff. So
Nice. Good.
next year we're putting it on him to make something.
nice.
So we were talking about holiday seasons and things we do. So,
I just get to taste the stuffing. Though. When my wife makes the stuffing, I just taste. She said, "You go here and just taste it." So I don't have. That's my
That's your contribution?
That's my contribution.
I'm surprised you don't say I'm the best taster.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I
I
am
make the best
I'm the best
cookies.
taster.
I'm the best stuffing taster.
Why do you think she asked me to do it? She doesn't ask.
Because she doesn't
anybody
want
else.
to talk to you. She wants to
Yeah.
fill your mouth with stuff and say, shut the hell up.
Shut up.
Hey, what do you
could
think it is? So anyway, I don't know. What do you guys want to do? You want to talk about our Black Friday?
Oh, God,
Christmas
let's- yeah,
movies? What do you guys
I mean,
want to do?
you guys-
Well, because
kinda-
you know what you had mentioned. So Thanksgiving, right? So we're sitting around. We get home from Thanksgiving, and you want to just kind of hang out. But it gets me in the holiday mood. It gets me festive. Like
Yeah, of
we were
course.
saying, like I don't listen to Christmas music after Thanksgiving, after Halloween.
Not
like
on
some
purpose.
people do.
Not on purpose. You don't.
You put it on immediately.
Yeah, exactly.
Not
Like
on purpose, you don't.
definitely not on purpose. It happens by
You're
accident.
force-fed the Christmas
I'm force
music.
fed. I'm in the back seat. Like they tie me up and they play Christmas music the whole drive down to my Aunt Carol's on Thanksgiving. I'm like, oh, okay, this is great. And I'm like gnawing my arm off to like try to break free. But like Thanksgiving, that's what starts to get me in the holiday mood. So like I get home and I wanted to watch a holiday movie. But you know what I consider a holiday movie? Like, you know what I wanted
Here
to
it
watch? And
comes.
I get made fun of for this all the time. I don't care. It's a Christmas movie.
I know
And
what
if you
you're gonna
tell
say.
me
I,
it's
you,
not,
I already
it's
have it in
not.
my list.
It
I
is.
think.
Yes. Die Hard.
Die Hard.
Die
You
Hard
stole
is
one
a
of my-
Christmas movie.
That's
so I
two-
watched it Thursday night. I watched it.
That's
And
two
what I
movies that are
did.
out of my list that you guys stole from
There you
me.
go.
We have to
I
make
didn't put it on my top 5. I got it just out of my
It's-
top.
All I'm
my
saying is
freaking
that
top
I
one.
went
Did
home
you-
and
you
I
watched
watched
it
it,
on
and it
Thanksgiving?
just got me thinking. I know, and then so you started talking about you wanted to start talking about holiday movies, and I was like, yeah, okay, there you go.
They
That's
have
a great thing.
They have the best Christmas song in that movie.
In that movie,
Die-
because
Die
they have
Hard.
the
one
the
where-
Run DMC one.
Yeah.
It's the Christmas and oh my goodness, I forget what it's called.
What was it,
But
LA or something?
Yeah,
Let me see if I can
Christmas
pull
and
it up.
I don't know what it's called again. Brian, can you look that up? What the Run DMC Christmas song, so we can get the title for that.
I saw some other thing like that. I forget what director. Maybe you would know.
Yeah.
It was a director who's known just for putting all his movies around Christmas time.
Really?
Christmas.
Not
in
even
Hollis?
they're not even like Christmas
They're not even,
related.
like, Christmas
He just
related.
puts them around Christmas time. I'll find them.
I'm not even sure yet.
I saw. So there was a few like that. I was like, oh, this is for
Yeah.
the Christmas movie. I didn't
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
that.
But then
Even one of the Batmans was
one of the
put on
Batmans
Christmas
was
list.
right around there. Yeah, and that was that Batman and Robin? 'Cause
Yeah,
that
one
was
of the-
that was with Arnold Schwarzenegger, the
Mr.
worst
Freeze.
one.
Oh my
That that movie almost destroyed like the Batman. They almost never made a Batman movie ever
Dude,
again
you're
because of
not
how
kidding.
bad that was.
Yeah, oh
The
my
movie
God.
started so like dark and like more real
Yeah.
feeling, like with the Michael Keaton,
Yeah.
and it just got like a circus show going. That's so stupid.
Yeah,
Jim
exactly.
Carrey as the Riddler.
Jim
right?
Carrey's the Riddler. Yeah.
You had a lot of
Yeah.
people in it.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, what was the guy who named
thinking of,
who played Robin? I haven't seen him in
That was
forever.
Chris O'Donnell.
Chris O'Donnell.
He
yeah.
was in Scent of a Woman. He was
Cool.
that was just a great movie.
The woman is so beautiful in that. Movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No,
I
she
forget
really
what
is.
She's in Love and Money too. I think.
Is she really?
I think
Oh, no
with
shit.
Michael J. Fox.
Oh,
I'm pretty
okay.
sure it's the same lady.
Oh wow. No
Can you look
shit.
that up?
Yeah, I am right on
Yeah.
it.
He's on it.
He's on it. Brian's got our fact checker. But yeah, man. So I know you.
That's how you kicked
had
it
wanted
off.
to talk about holiday movies, man. So I
Yeah.
thought, yeah. So I mean,
So
that
we
just,
had
it,
some
it got
list
me
of
thinking
movies,
about
yeah.
that. Yeah. So
So that's you kicked it off with your Die Hard. Okay.
it got me thinking about it when you mentioned that. So I was like, you know what? I want to because like to me, Thanksgiving is what starts the holiday season. That's
Yeah.
when like
No,
like,
no,
you
I
put
Yeah, no, it does
Yeah.
absolutely. Because
Yeah.
what are we 4 weeks out? Less than 4 weeks.
4 weeks out. Yeah, 4
weeks
weeks out.
out.
Exactly.
Gabrielle
Yeah.
Anwar.
Yes, Gabrielle
Yeah.
Anwar.
Let's see what else she
Is
was
she
in.
the same one from Burn Notice?
Oh, dude, I used to. You must have watched
Burn
Burn
Notice
Notice.
is so fun.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
dude.
watched all those.
Yeah. Oh, you did? Oh, that's awesome. That's a good show.
I'm not sure if that's the same person or I mix that person up all the time.
Here, I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Go to,
They're the
I'm
same
gonna-
person in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Gabrielle Anwar. I'm pretty sure it's the same woman.
I know the girl from Burn Notice. Yeah, she was
Burn
also
Notice?
very attractive woman.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing Burn Notice.
man.
It's a guy who he was in that Hulu original or Prime original.
Yes, yeah. I knew.
I saw the first season of it. It was pretty good.
Yeah, he was like a character. He became like a real character actor. He was like in
Yeah.
all kinds of random shit.
Yeah, there's probably someone else in Burn Notice.
Yeah,
Okay.
but yeah, man.
All right. So let's just kick it off with movies. And these
Yeah.
aren't like these are just our opinions as always. Let me make the disclaimer.
Oh, sure, yeah.
I'll be honest. Some of the movies I have on my list are they're not great movies, but
Yeah.
for whatever reason, I have to watch them every year. I'm like, we're watching this again.
Of course, yeah.
The kids are like groaning. I'm like, ugh. So I know everybody probably has this one on. I'm pretty sure Joe already was saying it this morning.
It's my favorite.
This is your number one? My
one.
number 5 is Elf.
Ooh.
Number 5?
Yeah.
Number 5.
That's my number 1.
That's your number 1. That's
I
not,
think that's the best.
You do
freaking,
love that.
I
You
love
that
Elf.
from
My
the
wife
that's
loves
the
it
best
the most,
Christmas
too. It's
movie.
her number 1, I
Yeah.
think.
I
So
love
this
that movie.
2003 instant classic starring Will Ferrell doing what he does best, being a giant man baby. He stars as Buddy the Elf, who's someone who accidentally was basically raised in the North Pole somehow.
Yeah.
And because he's 6 foot something, he realizes he doesn't exactly fit in with the other elves. And somehow he knows to go to New York City to find his real father, who ends up being like a businessman. Let's just say that.
Yeah,
like a
right.
typical New York
Right.
City businessman.
Yep.
But it's pretty funny, and it has a good cast. It has Zoe Deschanel, James Caan is in it, John Favreau.
I'm sure most people know
John
this
Favreau
movie.
actually directs
Yeah,
it too.
Anyone
Did
doesn't.
he really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would think most people know
I'm pretty
this
sure he
movie.
did. Double check. John
the
Favreau
hell?
directed that movie. I'm pretty sure.
1 second.
He's weird. He directs some weird stuff
did.
sometimes.
Well, he does
because he's in a
Mandalorian.
Marvel. He's in Mandalorian.
We'll have to. You were talking about doing a.
and Ed Asner's in that. Oh my god.
Brian,
Oh
you
yeah,
were
John
talking.
Favreau.
yeah,
What?
he is.
Yeah.
You were talking about doing like you did that. What do we call it? Well, you were asking
The
people.
cake. You made a cake. You made a cake.
Why am I
There
not
you go.
able to think? A poll.
Joking out.
You did the poll on
yeah.
Instagram. Do a poll on our Instagram feed for people's favorite
yeah.
Christmas
Favorite holiday
Yeah,
movies.
Holiday
Holiday
movies.
holiday
Yeah,
Christmas
movies.
movies.
Like
Yeah.
I said, I'm sure there's other ones that I probably even like better.
I'm
These are
gonna
just the
do it on
ones
This is your
Facebook.
I was
favorites,
thinking
man,
about.
dude.
I
I'll
watch
list like
it
10
every
and see
year.
how many
That's
votes.
awesome.
How do you like Elf too? or-
I love Elf. It's
You
not.
do
It's
too.
not my number 1. It's in my top 5. I
You-
would,
it's
not your number
I would
one.
actually say number 5 also. I think I
See
would
that?
honestly say. There we go, man.
Connected.
There we go, number
I'm
5.
surprised
Brian,
you
you
don't
an Elf
actually
fan?
have your
Yeah.
You like Elf?
list, your Christmas top 10 list. Because you
Oh.
have top 10 lists with everything.
Oh, I'm sure he has
Do
it.
you really think I don't have
Oh,
one?
okay,
I
alright,
might even have a
alright.
top 15 to be
Alright,
honest with
okay.
you.
On the
But
drive.
I usually cut it off at 10, and that's for the viewers' sake. Because I
Yes,
can sit
this
here,
is
I don't
true.
want to keep them here all day.
Yeah,
Alright,
that's
let's
true.
be
Okay.
honest.
That's good.
All right, so what do you got for your number 5 or whatever? It doesn't have to be in a particular order.
Yeah,
What
whatever
do you
Well,
got?
man?
I have a bunch of them. Elf is definitely my favorite.
That makes sense. I believe that.
My favorite one, and there's a lot of other ones that I like.
I
I
can
don't know. I
definitely
don't
see
have
it,
them
right?
in any particular order.
Yeah,
That's
fine.
fine, man.
necessarily.
Whatever, yeah.
But if I had to say my second favorite one is probably The Grinch with Jim Carrey.
Okay.
I do
yeah.
really enjoy
Yes,
that.
love
Yeah.
that too.
I put
Wish I
it
could
just out
watch
of my
that
5,
over and
but I
over
do like
again.
it.
Yeah,
I
I
love
like
that.
all the what do you call it? The special effects in that one. Are
Oh
good.
yeah,
They're good.
dude,
I like it.
that's Ron Howard, man.
Yeah.
That's like they got like an actual director to do like a Grinch Christmas
Yeah.
movie. Like
Yeah.
how funny is that? You know,
Yeah.
like a real quality director to do it. That's a
Well,
good
well, he makes fun of Ron Howard.
does. Remember in that one scene
in
in
the one
The
scene, it
Grinch?
was an ad lib scene
Oh,
where he
does
makes
he?
fun
he
of.
puts
Jim,
on
he
Ron
makes,
Howard's famous hat.
Oh,
in the
okay.
movie,
Yeah.
And he's like, "All right, here's your motivation." And he does this whole thing. It's
and
really
it's
funny.
great. It's really an ingenious movie. And,
It is.
You know, it's funny. I can
Solid
watch it every
pick
time.
again, man. Good.
All right,
Yeah,
what
it's
else you got for us, Joey?
So I definitely I love this movie, and it goes back to my childhood, and I just think it's really great. And that's there's 2 of them, but if I had to pick one, Home Alone 2.
Yeah,
Home
yeah, of
Alone
course,
2,
yeah. Home
I
Alone
love
2.
that movie. That's
I love all
love
of them.
that,
you picked
man.
2 over 1.
Dude,
Yeah, I think one's.
Like,
they're both
one is
very
great,
good. They're both
there's
very
something
good.
I love about when
there's
he goes
two
to New
where-
York City,
Oh,
and he
God.
does the whole thing like when they're on the rope, and he,
Oh,
like,
yeah,
and
yeah,
he cuts like climbing down
Yep.
the side
Yeah,
of
yeah.
the building.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah,
I
yeah.
love
And
that
I will
one.
say, I mean, Tim Curry's in that, so that gives it a boost.
Oh,
Curry's
Tim Curry's
amazing.
in that one. Yes,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
right. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, I forgot about that whole scene. That's
Yeah,
one
yeah.
of the best scenes.
Tim Curry's
Yeah.
pretty
ever.
awesome.
But I loved one better because I loved the scene where the one guy gets into the basement and the other one gets through the window.
The
and
window.
He steps in on
the ornaments.
The one guy steps on the ornaments and he takes his socks off. And it's like he had to take his socks off because of something, whatever. And then
Yeah.
he was down. The other guy's in the basement, and
Yep.
he gets electrocuted, and he
Yeah.
slides across from the slippery stuff into the paint.
into the
Yeah,
paint
they
cans.
tar and feather
Oh.
him.
Tar
God.
and feather him. Yeah, man.
So funny.
That's pretty sick. Yeah, that's that was tied for my number 1, Home Alone 1.
Oh, was it really?
I love
oh,
Home
no
Alone.
way. That's
Yeah.
cool.
I
I
That's
think just
awesome.
because that was like my age group, it was so hugely freaking popular.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah, oh,
on
yeah.
all
Yeah.
of the time.
Yep.
We
Yeah.
watch it every Christmas.
Really?
But I mean, it is hard to beat. So that's tied for my number 1. So
Yeah.
what else you got, Joe?
The Santa Claus.
Ooh, yeah.
With,
I love
okay,
that
with-
movie with
with
Tim Allen.
Tim Allen.
Yeah, oh, that's
I
good.
honestly love that movie.
They have
I
like
really
3 of
do.
them.
Yeah, they made so many. It got
We
a little
just-
bit played out after a while,
Yeah.
but you
We
know.
watched them all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the other one's got a little lame. I think the second one was a little bit lame, where he had to get married before Christmas or whatever. I think,
is
and
that
his
a
son was a
final?
little
I don't
older.
Yeah.
It was all right. Then
The
they made
third
a third
one, he
was-
fights the frost guy.
Yeah,
and
he does.
that was actually
I don't know, I
funny
liked
parts
it.
in it with the
I like
different
that one.
characters. It had some good
Yeah.
comedians in it that
Well,
played the
that's
different
Martin
parts.
Short.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Martin Short was
Martin
in that.
Short.
the guy who played was it Sleep, Mr. Sleep, or whatever? I can't remember. But there was like all the different characters there. The Easter Bunny was there.
Oh, right.
Remember they all got together for a meeting about it, and they were talking.
Trying to get rid of Santa, right?
I think they were trying to get rid of Santa, and
yeah, because Martin Short gets them together. I think,
yeah,
for sure.
Oh, and it wasn't that the one where the toy Santa is the one who took over?
That was the second one. So
that was the
you're,
2nd
you're
one. I'm getting confused.
Yeah, you're confused.
It's an amalgamation of all. We're just gonna add other movies
of all
too.
of them.
Exactly.
And then he's like, "Yippee ki mother effer."
Yeah,
Yeah,
right,
you're
yeah.
the one, and then I think he's the one ring to rule them all. That's what it is.
Yes,
It's
and
not-
then
it's not the
he
whole
blew up the he blew up the freaking Death Star too.
thing. Yeah, exactly.
Pulls back the curtain and it's
That
just a
did
guy
happen.
standing there the whole time. Like,
Yeah.
Pay no attention to that man behind the gun. Yeah, so that's a great one.
All right, Joe, what you got?
So the one that I really do love, and there's a lot of great movies that I think a lot of people try to say that they're not necessarily holiday movies or whatever.
Yeah.
But so now this is one again. It takes place. The whole movie sort of centers around the holidays, but it's a comedy. But that's Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
That is one of my
I
favorite
love
movies.
That's a great
dude.
movie.
Very cool.
That's a good one.
I love
I
that.
totally
like it, yeah.
forgot about that.
Dude,
Yeah, definitely. They're trying to get home
they're
for the
trying to get
holidays.
home
That's funny, that
for
movie.
and that's like
Yeah,
I think
was
for
that John
Thanksgiving. I think
Candy?
Yeah, they were trying to get home for
Steve
Thanksgiving.
Martin.
Steve Martin, John Candy,
Yeah.
right.
Dude,
No, that
movie-
is a funny. Oh my god, I want
Talk
to
about
watch
a
it
movie
now.
that holds
actually.
up, right? Funny,
Dude,
still,
that one holds
That's a
up.
great call.
still
man.
That one
funny
holds
to
up.
today, man. So
That is a
funny.
hilarious.
That
Dude,
one's
their
really
chemistry
good.
is like unreal.
It really was.
It's
so
like everything they do
amazing.
is freaking funny.
Yeah.
It's so
oh.
sad that he passed away. Dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it really is.
He's
All
been
the
gone for a
best.
while already, man.
Yeah,
It must be like
no.
15 years.
It's like Chris Farley.
At
Too,
least.
he's been gone for a long time, like long time now, man.
That is sad.
But that's a good. I love that movie. That brings back memories. I usually watch that probably like once a year, usually like right around Thanksgiving time. Yeah,
I gotta watch that now.
yeah, it's
I'll
good.
watch
Man.
that
It's
maybe
that holds up. That holds up.
That is a great
man.
movie.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it this year. I should watch it. Here's a Vince Vaughn movie. It takes place with titular characters. Fred Claus.
Mm-hmm.
He plays Santa Claus's underachieving brother.
Yeah.
Played
That's a
by
good
Paul
one.
Giamatti.
Yep.
It's corny. Rachel Weisz plays the ever disappointed girlfriend. Elizabeth
Okay.
Banks is the love interest of the boring elf played by John Michael Higgins. They have great chemistry. If you'll remember,
Yeah.
they're both in Pitch Perfect. They played the
Yeah.
two. What do you call them? Announcers.
Oh
Elizabeth-
yeah,
Yeah,
Elizabeth Banks and John Michael Higgins.
Yes. Oh
So
my God,
they have
yes,
great
they're
chemistry
so funny.
together.
Oh wow, okay. Oh my gosh.
So
they
yeah,
are
that's my number
hilarious.
4 is Fred Claus.
That's awesome. That's a good one, man. I've never seen Fred Claus, but I've
It's
seen
funny.
different clips of it, and it seems like the interactions between him and his brother are so funny.
They're pretty
like
funny.
like someone like Vince Vaughn always has his little quips that he gets as part of his dialogue, and he always has this one thing where they're all like, "Oh, it's so wonderful what you do every year, Santa." And they're talking to Paul Giamatti's brother, who's Santa.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Yeah, it's really great. Breaking and entering. We're celebrating that now as a people."
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, he has some good lines in there.
Yeah.
He's talking to his girl in the beginning because he's like a repo guy, so he's taking back the big TV and whatever. I love that beginning.
Yeah.
And the girl comes out and kicks him in the shin. And he's just like, "Why you got to be so aggressive and violent?" He's like, "You got to play it cool. You'll probably go to a junior college. You'll play little sports. You'll be with baby."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So funny.
Yeah.
It's funny. What do you got for us, Joe?
Well, I'm going to mention some of the other ones that we watch. You talk about the movies that we watch every
Yeah,
year.
every year.
You got to
Every
watch
year.
them
Gotta
all
watch
the
Yeah,
time.
exactly.
right?
Yeah, sure.
So we look forward to them, and we've seen them a million times. But we watch them every year. You have
Right,
to
sure.
watch them at least once. And I'm
Yeah.
going to mention 3 of them because they're all sort
Okay.
of in the same thing.
okay.
A Wonderful Life.
It's a Wonderful Life.
It's a Wonderful
right?
Life.
Yeah,
Every year I got to watch
I got
that.
burnt out of it. I can't.
I got burned out of it.
I
completely.
love it. I can
did,
watch
man.
it every time.
My favorite part is when that kid goes into the friggin' cold water.
Go to cold water. I
I'm
wish
like, maybe he doesn't get out.
when
That's-
Clarence falls in, maybe he won't save him this time. I don't know.
Yeah. And then A Christmas Story.
A Christmas Story. I knew you were gonna say that. Yep.
Of course,
the
everyone's
classic,
probably
Plays
seen
24
A Christmas
hours.
classic
Story,
24 hours every Christmas.
You know what I have? Oh my god!
great-
I started spazzing out right there.
He's so angry.
That's why I
Turn it
have.
off.
My-
Turn it off.
That's why I have the headset on, and I don't have
Yeah.
to worry about that. crap.
Smacking
There
the
you
mic. I just was talking to somebody at work the other day. I guess it's not that uncommon when you start saying the 24 hours of the Christmas story.
Christmas Story. Yeah.
I guess it's not that uncommon for people to get Chinese food on Christmas.
Really?
Like a
Seriously?
bunch of people at work. Yeah, I get Chinese food
Oh
every
my
year for
gosh.
Christmas. I'm like,
My
really?
Aunt Mary and my cousin Jay, they go out every Christmas Day. They go out to Chinese food.
Well, there's,
What is this
there's a
about?
funny scene
Yeah.
in the Japanese restaurant.
And
on
the- and-
Christmas
right,
Day. It's one of my
and the-
favorite
yeah.
parts.
Yes, of
Yes,
course.
it
That's
is.
why.
Yeah.
There
All
you go. Look at that. Look who caught up.
I
Look who just caught up.
All right, so
Welcome to the show. This is loosely related.
Loosely
Yeah.
related
You're on the show
podcast.
with us.
and then
this
of course, Babes in Toyland.
You like that movie?
I
Babes
do.
in- is that what it's called?
I don't like that.
I
movie.
think it's called
I think
March of the Wooden
March,
Shoulders.
No, it's Babes in
Shoulders.
Toyland.
I thought
We
it-
called
just
it
the
March.
shoulders and
When
marching.
we grew up, we called it March of the Wooden Soldiers.
No, I think it
but
is
it's called
Babes
Babes
in
in
Okay,
Toyland.
fair enough. Fair enough. I believe
No, I
you.
think
And-
he's right.
Yeah,
and
and
I
most,
believe you, I believe
most
you.
people will refer to it as the March of the Wooden Soldiers, but that's
It's
not,
based
that's
in
not
Toyland.
what it is.
Well, that's there you go. Because you know what, my favorite scene was always when the wooden soldiers come out.
Yeah,
They do, like,
yeah, of course. That's like
That's
that's the
the whole
culmination
thing.
of that whole.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
the
it's
whole
like, all right,
thing.
cool. All right, next movie.
And it's a colorized. They colorized. I think they colorized.
They
it.
did colorize.
I love
it,
when
yeah.
they say it
They
in
did.
Technicolor.
Yeah.
What the hell is Technicolor?
Technicolor? It's like a.
But that's like that goes back
It's
to
color.
the days of,
It's technically color, I guess. It's like it's not really color. It's like technically color.
that goes back to the like we make fun of the talking pictures. You
Talking
know?
pictures.
That was like the age of the talking pictures.
That was that whole time. And they
When did
just,
that
like,
come
talk
out?
so
That had to
slow.
be the 30s.
Talking pictures?
No,
the,
the Babes in Toyland. When did that come out?
It's telling me
Talking pictures,
1961, but
No,
Wow,
no.
really? I mean,
You'll never get me.
I don't
See,
know.
I'm a babe in
No,
toilet.
there's no way.
They
It's gotta
shot
be
that.
the
What you said? They
30s.
shot that in like 1820. So
Let me see if
they had to
Google knows
convert it.
this question.
What were you in like high school then?
Yeah, you were like you
When
were
was
just in
Babes
high
in
school,
Toyland
1961.
can't come
right?
out?
yeah, no, it's saying 1961.
I believe
I'm
it.
sure he knows it. He's
Yeah,
got
I just Googled
he's not
it.
making it up. He has a whole
He's not-
computer
Brian's
and a
not-
thing
he's
over
not
there.
pulling
No,
this from
that's not.
memory.
That's not the right one. I understand,
hold
but
on.
that's not the right one.
There's another one?
Okay, yeah,
They
so no, I typed in original. Yeah, so 1934.
1934.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait,
Oh,
did I
it's
not
even
say
older.
34?
Yeah,
I think I said
don't
34.
know.
I
I
think
can't
might have said
neither
that.
deny,
Anyway,
confirm nor deny that because
I can either confirm or deny.
I guess
Oh, you were
It's-
only in
The
elementary. school.
colorized came out in 1961.
That's what I was going to say. That makes
Oh,
sense.
that's
That
when they
makes a lot of
colorized
sense.
it. Yes, all right,
Cool.
that's cool.
I
Yeah.
gotta be honest. I can't even tell you what the hell that movie's about.
I don't know what it's about.
I just know the wooden soldiers.
Yeah,
Well,
that's-
it's sort of about
it's about like nursery.
yeah, it's all the
stories,
nursery
right?
rhyme stories
Nursery
and characters that
rhymes.
are in it. You have the three little pigs, and you have
Bo Peep.
Bo
That's what
Peep,
it's
and all
about?
of them.
Yeah.
And they're
I
all
don't
the
think I've
characters.
seen it, man. I
And
thought it was some
Toyland, it's Toyland, and they all live in Toyland.
Yeah.
And then there's the bad guy,
Barnaby.
Barnaby's the bad guy. He's like
you
the,
know all about this.
When I was a kid, I used to watch it all the time. Again, it was one of those things I was tied up in the back seat and I was
Yes.
forced to
Yeah,
watch
I hear
it,
you.
kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll love it.
No,
We love it.
it's great.
But yeah.
That's time. That's
So
a
you
timeless
watch that every
classic.
year? You like it?
Oh
You
yeah,
watch those every year. Well, those three every year, right? You watch
my
basically.
God.
You know, back in
you
the-
do watch those three every year.
Back in the day,
The oldest
though-
thing I even put on mine was from the 80s.
You really? That's hilarious.
but when I grew up, when we were kids, you didn't have access to streaming and computers, and you didn't have those things. So
Yeah, well, we
electricity.
didn't
you
have
looked-
that when we were kids either.
Well, no, but
it's pretty new still.
But let me get my point is
didn't
that
have
you don't.
spaceships.
You looked forward to these things every year because you
Oh,
only
yeah,
saw them
no,
when
yeah.
they came out. That was it. You couldn't go and Google it, and you couldn't find those. You
Right,
had
I
to
know
wait
what
till
you're
that
saying.
time of year, and you looked forward to those things.
Oh,
They were
you know
like
what that did
the
just
favorite
remind me
things
of
of people.
something. That reminded me of something I did forget I would have put on a little. I do like the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Yeah, oh yeah,
was
those
thinking
other
of
ones.
that
I
the
was going to
entire
list
time.
those
Claymation.
too. Yeah.
I do. I used to watch. It would like build it up for like 2 weeks before like schools get
Oh
closed.
yeah, you get so excited.
Don't forget
about
about Toy Island and
Yeah.
Rudolph
Yeah, and
the
the little-
Red-Nosed Reindeer and Frosty
the little
Snowman.
drummer boy. I remember that was
Yeah,
a great
those
one.
were pretty good.
Those
Yeah.
were all ones you looked forward to when you were a kid. When I was a kid
All right.
anyway.
Well, if you're not in a coma, Joey, what do you have for us?
Well, so my I love this movie, and people again, this is like you're talking about like cheesy movies that aren't necessarily good movies, but I just
Right.
love it. I watch it every year. Again, it brings back memories, and it's also just it's funny to me because it's about like getting toys on Black Friday, and it kind of goes to that as well.
I know, tell
And
me.
that's Jingle All the Way.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
that's
that's
fun.
fun.
Jingle
That's a
All
fun
the
movie.
Way. I
It's a fun movie.
I love that movie. It's silly. It's
Sinbad.
ridiculous.
It's silly, but it's
Sinbad's
still-
in that.
It's
Yeah.
fun.
we were
Yeah.
saying that this morning. We
Yeah.
both thought it was cute.
Yeah.
It's funny.
It's
It's
lame in
turbo
parts, but it's
time.
also funny. It's turbo time.
Yeah.
And then
I
he's
love
like
that
the
movie.
dude in the parade, right? At the
Yeah,
end,
yeah, at the parade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
For
so,
sure.
yeah, you're right.
And they-
Like that's the thing. They're not like technically nobody's going to be like, yeah, this is a top 10 IMDb.
Right,
or-
sure. Yeah.
No.
You know what I mean? It's Citizen Kane and then Jingle All the Way.
Jingle All the
Right.
Way. Yeah.
It's
Right.
nose to nose.
No.
But you have to watch it. It's like
Yeah.
your thing. You know what I mean?
For sure,
So that's
for
kind of
sure,
like
man.
for my next ones. That I can't believe I have 2 Vince Vaughn movies on here. Like I'm really going to the gutter here.
Yeah.
But I love Four Christmases. I
Oh,
saw
dude,
my
I
wife
love-
in the
I love
movies
that
one
movie.
year,
Yeah,
and
that's-
now we
that's
watch it every
good.
year.
It's
Nice.
fun.
So if you don't know, it stars Reese Witherspoon and Vince Vaughn as a couple who don't believe in marriage or obligatory family holiday experiences. So every year they tell their family they're going away for to volunteer their time, build houses, Habitat for Humanity or whatever.
Yeah.
But then they go to some tropical Getaway. Oh my God, what was that?
What was that? We're getting some
we're getting
some cross audio,
Getting some interference over here.
That's the alternate universe related podcast.
That's what it is.
That's awesome.
Nice.
So ostensibly they get caught when you're trying to get away because there's fog rolls in, they can't take off, and then they end up spending a Christmas with each of their family members because like mom and dad are divorced on both sides, so it's like with their remarriages, so it's 4 Christmases,
dude.
Yeah. So I mean, there's so many other ones. Like you said, all the animated ones are funny too.
So that's where I was going to go. So there's some good animated ones.
there's a ton of
my last one that I would say though, I love it, and it's an old fashioned movie, but I love and there have been so many remakes of it, but I really do love this version of it. I just think he's such a phenomenal actor, and I love Patrick Stewart's Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
I love that, man. I think he's one of the best actors of our time.
I forgot about the Christmas
man.
Carol. I should have added that to my class.
There's
we
so
should
many
see how many we
classics.
can name of Christmas Carol. There's so many remakes
of that one, but obviously that's Patrick Stewart plays Ebenezer Scrooge, and it's the whole story of he's visited by 3 ghosts, goes to Christmas past, present, future. I don't know why I love that version. I love that rendition of the entire story, and I just think that that's a movie that, like, when I watch that, it's sort of like, I feel like a lot of those themes, even like that movie is like, the premise of that movie was that was Charles Dickens, I think, Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
And that whole the theme of it still holds true today. It's about prison overpopulation and poor and and like the wealthy
division,
sort
sure.
of hoarding money and the separation of classes and stuff like that. And I feel like all of that stuff holds true today. And it's just
Damn,
something
Joey,
I
you're
love
getting
that.
us deep with this,
Dude. I love that stuff.
I mean, the cockles in my heart, right?
Yeah, man.
I feel like an idiot now because I have a Christmas Carol too, but mine is with Bill Murray playing Scrooge in
Oh, dude,
1988.
dude, I love Scrooge.
Scrooge,
I
yeah.
love Scrooge.
So
man.
he's
It's so funny.
bitter, unloving, selfish TV exec who's planning an onstage live TV version of A Christmas Carol when he experiences his own Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
It's visited by 3 ghosts, but it's just so funny. It's typical Bill Murray fashion,
yes.
sarcastic quips from beginning to end.
Yeah.
So I really like it.
That movie is really,
My
really funny. I
my
love that
version
movie.
when I was growing up, there was a version of the Christmas Carol that came out that I always loved.
Yeah, I was
Here it
which,
comes.
which
And I think
one is
it
that
came
one?
out. It came out in I don't know if it was the 60s or the 70s, but it was. I hadn't seen it in so many years, and I
Right.
always remembered that one. And then a couple
'Cause
of
that
years
one's
ago,
never
it was,
on. That one's
it's
never
never on, and
No.
it's a great one. It's a musical Scrooged,
Oh, okay.
sort of.
And Christmas Carol.
Christmas Carol.
Yeah, a Christmas Carol,
Yeah.
and I can't remember. I have to look it up.
You gotta-
Maybe
yeah, you
during
gotta
the
look it
show,
up.
I'll
It's
try
like-
to look it up. I
Ryan,
can't remember which.
Yeah.
It was in the 60s.
See if you can find
Brian,
it.
I think
look
it
up
might
the
have
different
60s or
versions. You can read
70s.
them out because
And
There's so many.
I
like
love that version.
Do you guys like the animated one with
with
Jim Carrey?
Jim Carrey was in that one.
I like
right?
that one too.
That's
Oh yeah,
That was
that's
been
right.
remade as an animated movie.
one.
I
yeah.
remember Danny was little when we went. We went to see
Yeah, I
it
did
at
watch that one. It
AMC.
was actually good.
He was scared.
Yeah.
He was scared. Oh, really? Oh my god.
There was a few scenes he was like, I
Yeah.
want to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, right.
No, that one was a good one.
Is it with Alistair Sim?
No, that
Alistair
was-
Sims is
that's-
that's
the classic
the
one.
first
It
one,
comes
I
out
think.
after that one. I think it might be in the
Yeah.
70s when
Albert
it came out.
Finney?
That might be
I don't know. It
it.
doesn't sound familiar. I thought it started with an E, but I don't remember. Is
What,
I don't know.
Errol?
Errol
Errol Flynn?
That's
Errol Flynn, the
Eugene,
old school.
Yeah. I don't know. Ewan McGregor. That's
But
who
I thought
it is.
it was
Obi
Errol
Wan
something.
Kenobi.
There's another Errol, I think.
Errol.
Errol. I thought it was one of those people
Yeah.
too.
I don't know, man.
Um,
But
Another one, just while we're sitting around, I love it. I love it. Top one for me.
Really top one. Here we
tied
go.
with Home Alone.
there we go.
National Lampoon's Christmas
Oh,
Vacation.
there you go,
Yeah.
man. I knew somebody was gonna have it.
I've seen it over and over, and I've already watched it this year. I'll watch it again.
Did you really?
Yeah.
That's
and I know
awesome,
it's
man.
coming out in the movies again. They're going to put it back in the movie theater.
Oh, because for the anniversary, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude, that
I wanna
is
go.
awesome. That is
I
a
love
great
that movie.
movie. I like it a lot. It's really
Yeah,
funny.
that was great.
It's probably in my top 10. I wouldn't put it in my top 5 just because I already kind of had like Planes, Trains, and Automobiles in there. So like as a
Yeah,
comedy,
something that
I
fits
just,
that,
Yeah,
yeah.
so like that's a little bit more like
I get that.
Yeah. So, but I love that movie. It's so you can't not love it. The whole scene when he's like that no good lion Kraken when he gets he's planning for the pool.
The boss
What does he
yeah.
get for a bonus?
He
It's
gets like jelly for life or whatever, a jelly club.
Jelly of the Month Club.
Jelly of the Month club.
Jelly of the Month Club.
All right, I think it's called It's just called Scrooge from 1970. I think that's the one. Yeah.
Okay.
And what's the who plays
It's a musical.
The writer stars Albert Finney. Yep.
Oh, okay, all right. So maybe
Alec-
that is it.
Alec
All right,
Guinness?
So
Is that
Alec
it?
Guinness, maybe that is who it is.
That could be.
I like
Yeah.
Guinness.
That sounds familiar.
And it's
I like
basically
Guinness.
a musical
I'm a Guinness guy.
a musical retelling of the Charles Dickens classic novel about an old, bitter miser taking on a journey of self-redemption,
Yeah.
courtesy.
Dad has to like the one that no one has ever heard.
No,
He's
no.
like the hipster of
No,
the
but
Christmas
it's
Carol.
it's my favorite. I've seen them all, and there are classic ones like we always grew up with the Alistair Sims one, which
Yeah.
is what
Most
Grandpa
people know, yeah.
Grandpa's
Well,
favorite one.
Yeah.
But I always loved this one. And
Yeah.
I saw this in them theaters when
Well,
I
that was
a
your
kid.
generation. I mean, it was.
But I literally
everybody has their generation.
I literally
feel
saw this in Samsondale Plaza Theater
Yeah.
back when it came out, and I loved it.
Yeah.
I
How
always
was
loved it.
Samsondale Plaza.
In Samsondale Plaza.
That was when it was
movie
still
theater.
Pangea. It was still Pangea here, and
Yeah.
it was,
Okay.
it was like the center of Pangea.
I got you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
I gotta put these two out just for my sister real quick. These
Okay.
are two Downey movies I like too. One's Home for the Holidays. That's with Jodie Foster and Brian Croft and Robert Downey Jr. It's a dysfunctional family movie that takes place during Thanksgiving.
Okay.
It's really, really funny, and it's directed by Jodie Foster.
Oh no shit! Wow, that's cool.
And another Downey film I liked was Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Oh yeah! Oh hell
You
yeah,
can count
man!
that as
Robert Downey
Christmas.
Jr. and Val.
Yeah.
Oh my, that is. Oh wow, man, that's
Yep.
good.
And that's a pretty interesting movie.
It's great. Who directed
so-
that? That was
I'm not sure. who
Oh my
directed it.
goodness, that might have been that. I can't remember his name.
What
you
is
gotta
it?
look at
Look-
the
what-
director. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Kiss Kiss Bang
was a
Bang.
movie. Val Kilmer, Robert Downey Jr. was so funny in that. Was that one great scene. You know what you find if you look up
Shane
idiot
Black.
Shane Black. Okay. You know
Okay.
what you find if you look up idiot in the dictionary? Let me guess.
The
A picture of me?
Yeah.
No, the definition of the word idiot, which you are.
That was before Val Kilmer became fat as hell.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you guys? He looks like a sloth.
Yeah,
What the hell
I
happened to
will
him?
say he did have throat cancer. He beat it.
Did he?
Yeah, it was pretty severe.
Oh, I didn't know.
but
What did he
yeah,
beat it with? His fat?
His fat cells.
sorry,
His
so-
fat cells killed
What
the
the
kid.
hell?
Oh my god! But no. But since then he beat it, and like,
I didn't know he had
but
throat
since
cancer.
then he
That's bad.
he did not bounce back the way that I think a lot of people thought he would. I
Didn't
think he
Michael
just kept
Douglas
doing
have
that.
throat cancer?
Yeah. No, he had it.
He
bad.
looked
was
good.
he was like stage 4. He was like he almost didn't make it.
They say
But
that's
he's
from
all right.
cunnilingus.
Cunnilingus.
Yeah.
Yeah, really, I believe it. Well, Catherine Zeta-Jones, nowhere.
Because you
no.
can have HPV and
Oh,
spread it.
oh,
there.
wait, seriously,
You get
Rob? You're-
cancer, yeah.
Oh no way!
That's what they say. Yeah.
No way! That's crazy! Wow, I thought you were joking. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Well, another little medical alert, Rob. Freaking for your nurses' medical alert section. Be aware out on the streets.
Be careful what you're doing down there.
Yeah.
Not to cut you guys up, but we are running a little long.
All
No,
right.
we don't have to-
All right.
we don't
All right. That's cool, man. I mean, whatever you want
Don't
to
worry
do.
about it.
No, we're
Do
good.
whatever. Yeah. Yeah.
So, so those are things I have to watch every year.
Yeah.
Hit us up on our
Yeah.
Instagram. Let us know what you like to put it on our
We're gonna-
website.
Pay attention to the survey. I'm going to put a survey on our Facebook page.
Okay.
Okay.
About it,
We'll put
and,
one on
and we're going to put
Instagram.
one on Instagram. Brian will
Yeah.
put one on Instagram, and we'll see what
I'll
happens.
throw something up on Twitter too. Just go ahead and
Yeah.
do that. We all have our own responsibilities.
Yeah,
our
but-
little Twitter. We have a Facebook. We have a WhatsApp. We have a we have one of those like Turkish Facebook things. It's
Yes.
just in Turkey. Just
Yes.
in Turkey.
And we have a little notebook that we pass around sometimes. You can
Yeah.
write your name in
Just
it.
Circle yes if you like this show.
Yeah.
I,
and
I
we'll
also
just-
put loosely related in a bottle, and I set it adrift on the Atlantic Ocean.
Yes, we do
and
that
so
too.
someone's gonna find that someday and say, "Hey, I'm gonna watch this." And
Yeah.
there
Extra
you go.
subscriber.
Yeah.
All right. So you said on Thanksgiving you watched Die Hard and then in preparation to go try hard out in Black Friday. Did you go
Dude,
out after that or?
I definitely will say that at one point I was crawling through the ventilation shaft in the Poughkeepsie Galleria Mall because I couldn't make my way through the crowd, and there was a lot more room in that little ventilation shaft, like in the
Then it
movie
wasn't.
Die Hard.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, man. So we did our Black Friday thing. I gave my preview right for all those things. Now I will say this: I went to Best Buy. I saw that TV.
When'd
Which,
you
by the
actually
way,
end up
was
going,
like
by the
that.
way?
So I went to the Poughkeepsie Galleria, which we've mentioned on the podcast before. It's the one that the mall that I used to hang out at as a kid. And I've mentioned before about how I actually mentioned in the one episode I went there Black Friday like 2 years ago, and it seemed like it was less packed. packed
Than previous
than
years,
the
right?
previous years. I'm telling you, this year it was even less packed than that year.
Really? Wow.
It was insane. Like at a certain point, you go to certain stores and it's insane. Like Target's always pretty nuts, right? Best Buy's always pretty
Yeah.
crazy. But other stores like Macy's,
JC
Macy's was like
Penney's.
dead. There was no one in there. I was like, we didn't even wait online. I got my stuff and went right to the counter. That
Wow.
was it. Just paid. That was it. Walked out. That was.
Do you
that
know
was
we're
it.
going to be wearing T-shirts one day that say "Save the Mall"?
Yes, save the
Yeah.
ball, save the Galleria. Let's go save the clock tower.
We gotta get a what's the car again? The DeLorean. We gotta get a DeLorean.
DeLorean. Doc Brown. When you hit 88, you're gonna see some serious shit. That's
Yeah.
But so it was awesome. I went out. I got some good stuff. A lot of the deals were really good. But dude, I'm telling you right now. So I saw some good deals, and I thought that my top 5 was pretty good. I saw some deals in person that were out of this world. So I had that one TV.
You actually
that I put
called
on
me.
there.
He called me
I
about
called
a
you like
couple.
twice. I had the one
FaceTime
TV on
me.
there for $180, right? That whatever. That's the one that I mentioned at Best Buy.
Yeah.
I went to Best Buy. They had a QLED, a QLED TV, 55 inches. So that's like 4K Ultra HD, whatever, smart TV, all this stuff. It was originally like I think it was like $1,500. It was $700.
Half the price.
I was like,
That's
I don't know if it
pretty
was a
crazy.
doorbuster.
Oh,
I don't know
yeah.
what it was, dude. It was insane.
Did that one have the flux capacitor? In
So
it?
it had a flux capacitor. It also had the again like the one ring to rule them all kind of thing.
Right.
So
Did it
but
have
the cool thing-
detachable probe
yes, exactly.
to dig on other planets?
to dig on Mars. You
But the
could fly
cool
to
thing
Mars.
about what you were telling me is that
Yeah.
it actually works with your Apple.
So Rob, listen to this. Samsung
Apple
must have
Cast.
made a partnership deal recently with Apple. You can use
word?
Apple AirPlay is now available on select Samsung televisions.
Oh, that's a surprise.
Yeah, man. And not just that, Alexa Assistant works and Google Assistant works. And with
All
that
of them?
TV,
All of them
of
work on that one
They
TV.
have partnership
Holy
deals.
crap.
Now you can
That's pretty
connect all
amazing.
those things to that. Yep.
I
It was
wonder if
nuts,
they like
man.
compete for your attention.
Dude.
Don't listen to that bitch Siri.
Yeah, right. It'd be hilarious. Alexa, no, like you
Alexa,
ask-
wait, hold
you
on.
ask Alexa
you asked the
and-
last
and Siri jumps
last
in.
time. Now it's my turn.
Yeah, right.
Daddy loves me more.
Yeah, but that was cool. So but the one big purchase I had mentioned on the
Wow,
podcast,
that's wild. So $700.
$700, man. I could not believe it. It was like
Like
half
giving
off.
that crap out.
Dude, it
giving them
was
away.
nuts.
That's
That was a
pretty
huge
amazing.
deal. Dick's had some great deals on like the jerseys thing. Was
Didn't have
not
a
as good as it
65
did.
inch one, which is like $900.
They had
that
a
was
60
an 8K.
Oh, that's the other
65
yeah.
QLED, or-
They had another QLED.
Yeah, it was
They
a
had-
Samsung
That was
QLED.
$1,000 originally, like $2,100.
and that was an
something.
8K too, wasn't it? I think.
That was another. No, it was a QLED. So QLED
Oh, yeah. my
QLED
bad.
is
Yeah,
still
no,
a
I know.
4K thing. It's I don't know.
Yeah.
Like it's there's
But the
Q.
thing is, like, where are we even getting this like output from? Your television.
Yeah, you're not
going
gonna
to
put out- yeah,
8K.
no.
I don't get that, which is why like the 8Ks.
Yeah, you're paying for something. That's again, you got to be
Yeah.
paying attention to things. You're paying more for something you can't even use.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. Which I don't
Future-proof.
get that. Yeah, there we
Yeah.
go.
It's like I'm going to go buy an F-16. I don't have fly it, but it's on sale. It's great. It's a great price. They're selling it for half price.
Yeah, for
What are you
sure.
going to do with
Now
it?
that the FA-18 Hornets are out,
Yeah,
these are
exactly.
discounted.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, but it was cool. So the one big thing I bought, and I had mentioned that I needed a new one, was a suit, right? So I go to Macy's, and I had mentioned a lot of this stuff, and I was like, okay, we're gonna go to Men's Warehouse and get that suit that I had mentioned, and I was gonna show up. But I said to myself, let's just check out Macy's. Let's just see if there's anything good there. And I walked into Macy's, and I go up to the guy, and I said, hey man, are you guys doing any sales on suits? And he goes, well, you're in luck because we are literally having the best sale on suits that we have ever had in Macy's history. This because he says this to me. I'm like, okay, I guess I'll go check it out. I was like, Jesus, that's a hard sell.
Yeah, that's
but
a
all
pretty
right.
good hard
But
sell.
I
This
walked
is
up.
literally going to change your
It's
life.
like, oh, okay. Well, listen, if you want, we're selling the suit, and when you buy it, you become president. That's just how it works. It comes with
I
the
heard
suit.
that did happen.
You go into a dark room and they give you ayahuasca.
Yeah, right. Nice. But so I walk over to this one suit section, and they had a So basically, my big thing was they had a gorgeous suit. $500 suit. And I got a shirt with a nice, beautiful dress shirt. I walked out of there, $500. I spent $160
Wow.
on a $500 suit and with a shirt. That was like my big thing. I could not believe the sale. It was
That's
nuts.
pretty crazy.
But yeah, man. I mean, that was my Black Friday. That was like the big thing. We just walked around. Obviously, it's still crazy packed. My mom got into a fight with some 16-year-old kid, and not like
What?
a fight, like an
Well, she
argument.
probably was
with
it could be
somebody.
rude or something.
He
or
was.
whatever.
Well, we were in the food court, and of course, the food court on Black Friday is literally that's where
course.
it's
That's the only
it's
place
like being
everybody
around.
is.
Yeah, it's like the watering hole I can imagine in like the wild in like the Amazon jungle or like out in the desert of Africa. They're like it's like a bunch of animals. So we find a table and this kid comes running over out of nowhere and like literally jumps in front of Mom. I didn't see this, but apparently it happened, and like says, "Oh, we were already sitting here. This is our table." And we're like, "Okay, you clearly just came running from nowhere and you were not sitting here." And Mom's like, "No, you weren't sitting." He's like, "Yes, we were. I just left for 1 second." Like, "Well, where's your bag?" "Sorry, this is my table." And the guy was just being like, Mom just like, I'm not dealing with it. So she just walked away and like let it go.
Right.
But yeah, man, it's
Let
like
it
people
go.
are nuts. I saw a lot of people arguing.
I heard he like licked the table. My germs.
He licked it. It's
This
fine.
is mine.
He just starts licking it. Dude, people are crazy though.
Yeah,
I saw a lot of fights.
Of
I saw
course.
people like,
would've been
verbal fights, but yeah. You know.
Verbal
Dude,
sparring.
if you go on
Yeah.
YouTube, it's freaking insane.
Oh,
like,
it's hilarious.
have you seen? Like, if you've seen World War Z, it's like they took a scene out of World War
Yeah.
Z. As soon as the doors open, they like, "Wah!"
Yeah.
charge
That's
through.
another good. That's
It's
another good
hilarious.
Christmas movie.
It is. That's a great Christmas movie.
Oh, yeah.
That's great. Yeah, that and also Schindler's List is a
Start-
great
Yeah.
Christmas
Yep.
movie. Yeah, I think World War Z is loosely based on Black Friday shopping.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, but it's fun. We go every year, and we just like to get out
What
there.
time did you? You went at midnight?
We went, so we woke
No,
up
they-
at like 8 o'clock in the
Oh,
morning.
yeah,
We got
okay.
there. We
Till,
got
like,
up there
they were
like
open till
8:30,
1 or
and
some
we
shit.
were there till about 6 or 7, and then we had to just stop at that point. Like you're walking around the mall. The hardest part is just walking.
Well, hold on. You
to
went.
the mall.
You went at what time?
Oh, we went there. We woke up
Oh,
at 8 a.m.
in the morning.
In the morning.
Yeah, in the
Oh
morning.
my
got up
god!
in
I
the
thought you
morning
were like 8 at night. and You were still there.
No,
I'm
no,
still there.
like, you were the zombies from World War Z.
Exactly. But
Yeah, because they closed at 1. I
they
think. Right?
closed.
And
They
then
closed
they
at 1 o'clock.
reopened.
And then they.
I
think
went
for
in the
like
morning
5
as
hours.
well.
Yeah.
I went. I woke up. My mom's probably sitting around since 4:30 in the morning, all friggin' waiting to go to the Christmas tree shop.
Right,
I
right.
gotta say that place was packed though.
Was it really?
Of course,
though?
there's like a million. I don't even want to sing again. Certain sexed people were in there.
Right. That's hilarious.
The Christmas tree shop.
Christmas
They
trees.
love that friggin' place. I'm
No
like,
way.
oh my
That's
God.
hilarious, man.
And it's like my wife just buys like soaps and loofahs and crap. It's like,
Sure.
Just to put like your stocking stuffers or whatever. So I went to Best Buy. I
Oh, you
bought.
do go to Best Buy. Okay, you're right.
I'm like, I don't want to. I guess I shouldn't say because it's for my kids or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
But I
right,
did
all
get
right.
the same deal that Brian
What do
got.
you mean?
The
Santa-
PS4
PS4 bundle.
got.
Santa
Yeah.
got this stuff, didn't he?
That's right.
Yeah, it's Santa. Right, yeah,
Santa got
exactly.
it.
Santa was there. I ran into him. I was like, "Hey, what are you doing here, man? I'm way behind on my gift this year, man. It sucks. Don't tell anybody I'm here." I'm like, "Okay, yeah, all right." Click, snap, took a picture, put it on my Instagram.
Did you see that stupid ass
Check
commercial
out
where the
this
kid
asshole.
does it? You see that commercial where the little kid takes a picture? He's like, I want your sled, Santa. You little punk bitch. I smacked that kid right in the face. He takes his car, and the parents wake up, and the kid's in like this Audi car or some crap. And they're like, he wants a pretty good boy this year.
Yeah, right.
He's like sitting, that's his sled.
I've
He's
never
like,
seen a
"No."
commercial at all.
Yeah, it's
Oh my
hilarious.
god, it's on all the time. But yeah, so I did the Black Friday as well. I went over to the Galleria in the other one
in Middletown.
In
Yeah,
Middletown,
yeah.
It wasn't that crazy.
No?
I went to Ulta like I do every year. I'm telling you, that Ulta is the jam.
Yeah.
They always have like some kind of like sweet deal going on in there.
Right.
And then I had to ask around because my Secret Santa at work wanted some crap. I didn't know what it was. It was called Beauty Blender or whatever.
Okay.
No idea what that is.
Yeah, I don't know
I
what
don't
that
know.
is.
No
At
idea.
first, I just said Beauty Blender.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, buying you no blender?
I'm not-
It sounds
what-
expensive.
What are you talking about? Blender.
Blender. But no, it was some other crap, and it had like sponges and stuff. I don't know. So
Right.
I walked around that stupid ass store.
Nice.
Those girls must have to wear like 100 pounds of makeup. Each
Yes,
one, they look
dude.
like clowns.
Dude,
I
they
don't know
really
what's going
do.
on.
At Sephora,
It's
I
so
went
over
with
the
my mom
top.
in there. Yeah, it's what are you doing?
I don't know. I can't. They look like the Joker. There's like 6 or 7 of Jokers in there.
I think that's what
That's
it
where they
was.
casted for the movie.
Yeah.
It was in Sephora.
It's like, oh my god! First of all, you're all 12 years old. You don't need makeup.
No.
Yeah.
Your skin is
Yeah.
bright. You've only been on planet Earth
Oh, yeah.
for a couple decades.
Yeah, yeah.
What are you doing? They got so much crap on their face. I'm like, do you work here or are you just a freaking alien too?
Yeah, you can't even
And I'm
tell.
like, I don't even know who's doing what there.
Yeah.
But I got that deal. It bounced out. Driving around with my mom. She must have said this a million times. Robert, there's a spot right there. I'm like, I'm in the spot. You can't even wait till I get in the spot to complain that you think I'm going to pass the spot. She's just like complaining about everything. She's like, there's the spot. You're going to pass the spot. I'm in the spot, Ma, because I told you. Okay,
Dude.
I told you the spot was there.
That's insane, man.
Yeah, man. So I had to hear that all day.
You know-
so we were there for like 4 hours. I was like, I'm going home. dude. I'm shot.
4 hours. That
was enough
that's
for
like
me.
The average. That's like the
yeah.
average. I
That's
feel.
That
not
was
too
too
bad.
much.
Nobody did
Yeah.
Black Thursday.
No, I didn't feel like. I'm like again. We got home, like I said, after
Oh, yeah.
after all
Well,
the gravy.
they
and
started
all
at
that.
5 o'clock on Thursday.
They start really early on Thursday.
we were already partying by
5
like
to 1,
1
yeah.
o'clock
Yeah.
in the afternoon at my sister-in-law's house. So
We were dude. I'm telling you right now, I was too shot.
Sounds like so much fun.
It really does sound like fun.
Yeah.
My brother came home from Thanksgiving and he said to me, "Hey, we're going up to the mall right now. Do you want to come? Please come." And I was like, "Are you out of your mind?"
Yeah,
I'm
I-
exhausted.
Oh, after you got home?
After we got home from Thanksgiving, so he did it. He went out. And
I did
know
it.
He got some stuff. That's
So
right.
yeah, so what I did, and what actually is not a bad idea, is
Right.
I was like, okay, like I found the PS4 bundle at Target.
My number one deal, by the way,
Yeah.
Brian did take my advice.
I've been playing MLB The Show for the past like 2 days, nonstop.
yeah.
And so I was like, okay, like I can order it because I was like, I'm not going Black Friday morning.
Sure.
I can order it online and get it shipped by Sunday. But I was like, no, wait, I can just do store pickup and get it Thursday night.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And so I did. I went to
And
White
then you
Plains.
still get the price.
Okay.
Yeah, and you pay online, and then you go to the store, show your ID, and they give it to you, and you're out.
Wow.
Wow. look
Literally,
at
like
that.
I was
Convenient.
spent 5 minutes in the store.
That's
Wow.
awesome. What the hell?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
freaking great.
That's
I would-
pretty good.
I would
Brian, thank you for
absolutely
taking
do that.
down our malls, Brian. You're
we
ruining
go.
the goondocks.
But you know what's weird? But is that's like the middle ground, though, right? Because
No,
like
it is. You're still
technically,
going for the
you
store.
still have to go to the brick and mortar store.
Yeah, it's sort
but
of
you're
you get
also
the
buying online.
you get
Yeah.
the best of both worlds.
so it's
there.
like, yeah, you're like a non-partisan. You're like,
It's
Brian's a non-partisan. That's
Yeah.
what it is.
I like
That's
that.
perfect.
Bipartisan shopper.
A bipartisan shopper.
I'm gonna just do the ones I'm waiting for tomorrow, or no, tomorrow's Monday. Today is Saturday.
Yeah, right.
So unless they have Cyber
Well, if
Sunday,
you're
which
listening
then
to
I don't
us,
know
it's on-
about it. They
it's
might
already
start
Tuesday.
They
Well-
might start Cyber Monday at 5 o'clock Sunday.
They probably, maybe
probably
they will. We're gonna have to do Cyber Monday shopping because there's a freaking blizzard coming that we're not
it's
gonna be able to
true.
leave
There's
our
supposed to be a big
house.
blizzard coming next.
So we're
going to
be sitting at our computers all day anyway to Monday. You're not gonna probably even be able.
and
to
you'll
make
have
it to
plenty
work
of
on
time. It'll be Monday.
gonna be
You can
crazy.
watch our you
Dude,
can
I'm
watch
supposed
the
to go
entire
see a play
episode on
tomorrow.
YouTube Monday because
Yeah,
you're going to be stuck in your
you
house.
have no excuse.
You have no
now.
excuse
You-
but to watch
to
it.
not
If
watch the
it's
whole episode.
available.
Yeah, if it's even available, we're gonna lose internet. We're gonna lose power.
Oh, we're not going to
Oh
be
my God,
available
knock on
Monday.
wood.
Oh,
Yeah, there we go.
We'll put it out on Monday.
Yeah,
And I gotta
exactly.
finish it by
Tuesday.
tomorrow. Then
There we go.
Yeah,
There
we'll
we
put it
go.
out
Yeah,
Monday.
don't worry about that, Brian. Brian's sitting back there like he's learning this as we're telling him.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
like, "What?"
Yeah, it's like wait a second.
We're gonna have this posted tonight. It's
Yeah.
being posted live right now. We're doing it.
We're going to just go live from here on out.
All right, guys. So
Yeah, man.
if it's cool with you, let's
Yeah.
go empty our bladders, take
Yeah.
a break, and
Oh,
we'll
yeah.
be right back after
Sounds
this.
good.
See ya.
All
Sounds
right.
good.
Hello, and we're back with empty bladders and more enthusiasm.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we figured we're just going to go around the horn a little bit and talk about some shows. There's so much going on right now, so much to watch. A few of these going to be docu-series or documentaries,
Hell yeah.
and just a show or two that has been popular that I think Joe was going to tell us about.
Yeah, it's a really cool one, man.
Yeah.
I've been watching the show. It's great. I hope it gets. I watched season 1 and I binge watched it, and I just happened to be flipping through because I'm always looking for something to watch, And
Yeah, when you're not Black Friday shopping.
When you're
when
not
I'm
Black
not
Friday.
Black Friday, which
Or
I did, which I didn't
or
even
Cyber
do.
Monday, rather, I should- yeah.
This is
Cyber
Joe.
Monday.
Well, I think this is Joe's when he just goes, I had to do things around the house. It just means he was binge watching.
Just
crap
means
all
you just
day.
binge watch something.
Do things around the
I had
house.
some housework to do. I had to binge watch Breaking Bad again.
Yeah, and I binge watch around the house with my
Or
phone. I just put it on my phone. I walk
El
around the house a
Camino.
couple of times.
Just watch that. Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe I don't remember when I started watching it. Actually, maybe last weekend I started watching
Well,
it.
the
but-
whole thing was the idea came because like we came home, right? Like, well, all right, so we went Black Friday shopping yesterday, whatever. I was gone all day. I come
Yeah,
home,
but-
you get home from that, and we're just shot, right? So you're exhausted, tired, and I got home, and you're sitting down late watching TV. And so I said, I'll sit down with Dad. I'll watch whatever he's watching. And you were watching a documentary.
Oh,
and
okay,
it's
yeah.
a great freaking documentary.
awesome.
It's so good, right?
Yeah.
And it's got me thinking. Netflix in particular has so many good documentaries. But
Yeah.
you were watching a documentary called
Screwball.
right?
Screwball.
Oh, what's this?
And it's funny. It's insane.
It's insane.
It's
The
all
story is
true.
just
You wanna talk- yeah,
unbelievable.
go
Yeah,
ahead,
tell us
Dad.
about
Talk
that.
about it a little bit.
Back in the early 2000s, they had the doping scandals in the MLB,
baseball,
with
the
Alex
steroids.
Rodriguez and Manny Ramirez and all the Barry Bonds and the other
Mark
guy,
McGwire,
Mark McGwire,
Jose
and all of these guys,
Canseco.
Jose Canseco, all these guys.
I was going to say it's funny.
And the
Did that
story
tell-all book.
was told by the guy
Tony Bosch.
Tony Bosch is the guy
Okay.
who ran who started this whole thing back in the early 2000s. He came from the Cuban community, and he wanted to be a doctor. His dad was an actual licensed doctor in the United States. He wanted to be a doctor, but he didn't have what it took to be a doctor.
Right.
He just couldn't do it. So he actually went to like overseas in the Philippines or something like that. I don't know exactly, but he went to South America. He did South America.
He went to Argentina.
And
he got like a medical
he went to
degree,
medical school.
quotations.
Yeah, he got a medical degree, but he
online university.
Yeah, exactly.
he actually was, I guess, a doctor, but he could not get licensed in the United States because he just didn't fit the qualifications. He couldn't pass the test, whatever it is he had to do. But he opened his own clinic, and it was like
in Miami. Don't forget that. That's the big one, right?
Yeah, and his clinic had to do with rejuvenation, age, kind of things like youth, whatever you call it. You know?
Just trying to keep people. How do you stay younger?
Or whatever.
Skin,
and he had this spa, but what he was doing, he was using HGH,
human growth hormone.
Growth hormone, and of course, people were coming to him, and it became very big. And he got his first clients in a bar. The story's insane. The story's insane.
It's not
how
real.
it all came.
You need to watch it.
It's just insane. It talks about how he started it and how these athletes came to him and got involved in it, and how the MLB event and the whole investigation. The FBI, you wouldn't believe the story. And like the guy said at the end of the story, you can't make this shit up.
You can't make this shit up. The guy literally, one of the last quotes from Tony Bosch, because they interviewed Tony Bosch for the documentary, and he's like, I said,
you can't believe you hear this story and you can't believe that it's a true story.
Yeah.
But you can't make this shit up.
Yeah.
The story is just insane. The whole way
it mostly
Rodriguez got into it.
A-Rod.
He's a real piece of crap.
He really is a real piece of crap.
He's a real piece of crap.
He did so much shady stuff, and then like the commissioner of baseball is also probably a real piece of crap. He's a real.
They were paying people.
They were
paying people off.
Yeah.
They were paying people off to get information and stuff.
Yeah, they were using
$5
like
million.
But the story is all about. It's all about that doping
Tony
scandal.
Bosch, and mostly
Tony
focuses
Bosch.
on. Well,
and there's not only athletes. There's like big name people. There's the cops who the cops were coming to the place to get stuff
in Miami cops. Yeah.
Other celebrities like singers and freaking actors and actresses and things like that were getting all the treatments and stuff too.
This guy,
he was getting illegal HGH from this other guy. This guy Yugi. That's
not even HGH. No, it was anabolic. I mean, he started with the HGH, and then he started to go into the anabolic steroids.
Yeah, and then the steroid. That's where it all started blowing up.
That's where it all started. He was getting it illegally, like you said. Yeah.
And it's such a corrupt thing. It's so corrupt.
Sometimes when you like see the legs our story has, it's like kind of insane, man.
Dude.
But you hear this story.
But Rob, this story, you need
the
to
whole
watch
time
it.
you're just going, what? Yeah. The whole time during the thing, you can't even believe it.
You're like, my dad and I were like, no way.
There's no way.
No way.
And the cool thing about it too is that like they have these people who the characters who are involved in this whole thing, like, and they're telling their stories from their perspective.
Right.
But then they go.
The director.
The director made it that when
it
chose to use children
as
child actors lip syncing the guys as they were narrating it. Like they had the scenes with the guys in sitting in a bar and they're talking to one another.
Like
it's two kids, but it looks like the people. They're kids dressed up like the older people, and they're lip syncing exactly what the guy's saying. Like. It's so fun. It's so funny.
Yeah, he chose. So the director, I guess, because he explained it. So the reason why I heard about this documentary when my dad
he
was
on Joe Rogan.
Yes, the director of the documentary is Billy Corbin, and he was on Joe Rogan. I guess he's friends with Joe Rogan because he's done a lot of documentaries before, and the whole thing centers around Miami.
Yeah,
and it's about this whole situation. But the guy was like on Joe Rogan talking about it. He was like, the whole story was so crazy that no one was ever going to take it seriously. So I decided to make it even more funny that when he did the reenactments of like the situations and the stories as they were being told by the actual people being
reenact. He would reenact them.
They were reenacted with child actors, lip syncing the voices
of the people telling the story.
And he dressed them up as like A-Rod, like he had a guy playing A-Rod. He had a guy Manny Ramirez. It was
Jose Canseco. The guys, the actual guys themselves who were part of. They were all dressed up like the thugs that were in it, and the Carbone brothers or whatever they were. It was so good.
I highly recommend you.
And I was watching it yesterday, Rob, and Joey was out shopping. And I thought he was going to be home, and I started watching it. So this is this is so good. I have to wait for Joey to get home.
Yeah.
Because maybe I should stop watching this. Wait, he'd like to watch this because I think he'd find this really interesting.
Yeah.
And I couldn't stop watching. And then Joey did finally come in. He's like, oh, you're watching this?
I started watching this.
This thing's amazing. I was like, yeah, it's incredible. I said, you saw it already? But yeah, you got to see it.
Highly recommend if you're not familiar with it. It's called
Screwball. You
got
to see it. Because you wouldn't believe the story.
Yeah.
I mean, you heard about the whole doping thing, but you just don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know how. It's incredible how deep it goes. Like the whole
crazy.
story.
Truth is crazier than fiction.
It is. It's really life is stranger than fiction.
Absolutely,
it's really crazy.
man.
But
But then, like, it got me thinking about, like, just like there's so many like on this podcast we always talk about movies. We talk about TV all the time, and we love that stuff.
Yeah.
But the one thing I feel like I also do love, and Netflix has a great, them in particular have a great selection, a great swath of documentaries, docuseries especially. Docuseries.
They just come out with a new one I got to check out too.
Yeah, but so then it got me thinking. I mean, we've mentioned on the podcast before. One of the ones that I've talked about, I think maybe before, is on Netflix. It won Best Documentary Feature was Icarus, about the Russian doping scandal, and that of course kind of ties into the Yankee thing. And it was just, that documentary is so insane. It's out of this world. It's directed by Brian Fogel, who at the time was an amateur cyclist, and basically when he sat down to make that documentary, he was literally sitting down to make a documentary about steroid use in cycling, in professional cycling, and how at the amateur level it's even more just rampant and out of control. And he was saying, like, he does this, there's this one particular race that goes in the Swiss Alps, and it's called the Hog Route, and it's actually even more brutal and more I guess you could say difficult than the Tour de France. Yeah. Right. But it's an amateur cycling tournament, and like the top 10, basically, if you finish in top 10, you can qualify for the professional circuit.
Right.
And he said, like, you can see, like, it's a field of like hundreds of cyclists, and he's done well before, but he's like, I can never break that top 10. Like, if you look at the times, the top 10 are just miles ahead of everyone else. It's not even close.
Right.
And then
the best of the best.
The best of the best. And the year before he made the documentary, like 5 of the top 10 from the previous year all popped for steroid use. So he sat down to make a documentary where he was going to inject himself with steroids and then show how much better he did in that year, right? Yeah. So he's going through the whole thing, and he's trying to do this, and he's trying to figure out how to show people how they get away with it and how they hide it.
A whole investigation.
And then he met
uncovering the entire thing.
Sergey, Brian, if you want to look up the
Russian guy who was doing it,
the Russian doctor's name,
yeah,
and he met him. And he was helping him originally. He was going to help him do all of the
injections and the protocols. So he was doing this all
protocols. Yeah, so he was doing this to recover and to be able.
But
to
he was doing it like
muscle.
undercover.
Completely undercover.
Because he was still actually doing these.
He was still doing these tournaments.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So he was doing it the whole time, and unfortunately, so he did do it, and then he had his race, and unfortunately, what happens in the movie is he's doing really well, and he was having his best times ever, and then his bike actually broke. Like halfway through, his bike broke. So unfortunately, he didn't wind up doing that much better. He was very disappointed by it. So you're like, oh, the documentary's over, right? But then, like, he just happened to meet this Russian guy. He was put in contact with him.
Grigory Rodchenkov?
Grigory Rodchenkov.
Oh, the old Rodchenkov.
Yeah.
Rodchenkov.
So, but the guy comes to L.A. and like he's just like, he just met this guy. He doesn't know anything about what's going on. While he's making this documentary, completely separate of anything going on, the whole Russian doping scandal comes out. Like Russia starts investigating, like the WOC, the Olympic Committee starts investigating him, and he's literally like best friends with this guy now. So he's making
in the
a
center
documentary.
Of a huge worldwide
and the guy's already involved.
It could not be more perfect timing.
Yeah, it turned into a whole documentary about
that whole story, and it follows him, and it's about how he has to escape Russia.
It's another unbelievable story.
Yeah, and the director,
worth watching,
Brian Fogel has to help him escape Russia and stuff like that. And it's just it's fascinating. It's amazing to see what Russia did during the Sochi Olympics and stuff like that, and it's amazing. I highly recommend it. That's probably my favorite documentary, honestly, of all time. I love that documentary, and like I said, it's on Netflix, so I want to check it out.
Yeah. Is that new or older?
Oh, it came out I think 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah.
So I picked up a few documentaries too. I try to get ones that were like kind of different from one another.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But the first one I got here is one I've seen years and years and years ago, but
yeah.
It's worth talking about. It's Michael Moore's first documentary, Roger May.
Oh, okay.
He's pretty famous. You know,
of
he's
course.
done Bowling for Columbine.
Fahrenheit
9/11.
9/11. Yep.
Right.
Fahrenheit 9/11.
Yeah, so he's and I don't like. I'll be honest, I don't love all the stuff. He's very leftist.
Sure.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But and very one-sided.
Yep.
But he does a good job most of the time when you can see when he puts effort into it. But this is a 1989 documentary, Moore's first documentary, and it's what happened in Flint, Michigan after General Motors closes its factories and opens new ones in Mexico, where the workers were paid like a tremendous amount less, and how Flint, Michigan just becomes like desert land.
And it basically is still.
Yeah, exactly. And it's decades later. It's still
Yeah.
just terrible. It looks like former Soviet.
Man, they
Russia
got hit
after,
hard
it's
too
been
because then they have the whole
war-torn.
water thing. I watched the whole
issue.
documentary about the
You did
water
watch that?
problem.
Oh, that's another one.
Yeah.
I have to watch that.
Yeah.
I've
Which
been
one?
meaning to watch that.
All about the water when they had the
okay.
water
Flint.
contamination in Flint.
Yeah, well, that's another issue.
Yeah.
From stemming from the same things.
Yeah.
So it talks about his view of globalization, but to me it's his best and easiest one to get on board because it's something just about how they hurt the American workers, and how families lost their lives and their homes and all the evictions and just watching these houses crumble. It's very sad.
Yeah, but
and like how it ruined generations to come, basically.
Yeah.
But it's important to understand that, man, because they like you said, like they've fallen. They never recovered. They've clearly never recovered.
Yeah,
from that.
yeah.
No, it's right. It's just still terrible. So that's definitely, if you haven't seen it, that's one worth definitely watching.
Yeah, no, that was cool. And I didn't list it here, but I actually thought about it afterwards. But we watched a movie about Mount Everest and climbing.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, not Mount Everest, right? It was. Oh no, wait. No, it was South. All right.
It was
go
on-
ahead.
it was
I'm
on-
sorry.
it was about
We
Mount
have
Everest.
watched so many mountain climbing documentaries. I've
Yeah.
actually lost track.
Well, there has been a bunch, and I'll probably confuse them all again,
Yeah,
and
right.
we'll probably be back to some Star Wars movie by the time I get
Yeah,
finished.
right. Probably, yeah, they were
talking
climbing
about
this mountain, and the guy had a lightsaber, and the guy was one of the guys talked like this.
Yeah,
It was really good. It's a great documentary. I think it's called Star Wars: Empire Strikes Back.
the Everest expedition.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was about the guy who died on. Do you remember? You saw it. It was the famous mountain climbers, and they had the two groups that were trying to climb, and then it was the bad storm on the mountain, and everyone got trapped up there, and like
Oh, okay,
70
so that
people
was that.
died.
Well,
No,
there was the movie Everest. Are you thinking of the actual movie
Everest.
Everest?
No. There was
That
the
a
actual-
There's
movie.
Event Horizon.
Yeah,
but there was an
that.
actual.
Well, they
on
This
the
is
movie.
a documentary.
You
or
might
what?
have seen that one. I don't know if I watched
Yeah,
it.
it was
with you,
it was
but I believe
a
it.
documentary about.
I believe they would. Yeah,
that.
of course. I believe it. Yeah.
And
sure
then there
there's
was
a ton
another
of
one
them.
where they had just where that big earthquake took place and it
yeah.
wiped everybody
Oh
out.
wow.
There was another one
yeah,
on
like
that.
18 people died.
Yeah,
in that. That
yeah,
was
a
like
lot
the,
of
that was
people.
like the
It was more than
worst.
18. It was
yeah,
a lot more than
yeah.
that.
Well, I mean, because then a lot of the Nepalese people, like even like their villages, were destroyed by
Yeah,
that entire
and they lost a
earthquake.
lot of the Sherpas. The
Yeah,
Sherpas,
Sherpas,
got
yeah, a lot of
died up
Sherpas
on the
died.
mountain. But
Yeah.
yeah, so that one, and then I know you mentioned this one, Brian. I don't know if you want to talk about the one you mentioned there.
Which one?
Another adventurous movie.
It's actually this is currently on Disney Plus, right?
Oh, yeah.
Plus.
free,
Yeah.
free solo.
Looks pretty
Yeah,
crazy.
so
Free
that's
Solo.
about God, what's the
Alex Honnold.
Yeah, Alex Honnold. So he this guy who does he does free solo climbing, which is you climb without ropes and anything.
That's crazy.
And he there's this thing in Yosemite,
Yosemite
yeah,
Park,
in California. There's a famous rock climbing mountain, El Capitan,
El Capitan.
and no one's
I'm the
free soloed it,
Capitan.
right?
Yeah, well, no one had him up
Until him.
until-
So
Spoiler
he had,
alert.
Yeah.
he had the dream of always wanting to do it, and so at the time, it's interesting how much effect it has on his personal relationships.
Yeah.
Because it's hard. Like
Yeah.
even for him who's done it his whole life, it's really hard. And I think at one point attempts it and he's like, I can't do it. Like all these cameras watching me, like I can't do it. I can't let my friends watch me fall.
Yeah.
His girlfriend was like literally like she was like, he's gonna do this and he's gonna die. And it was
Yeah.
kind of shows the strain of that relationship going on.
Yeah,
No, it's
man.
pretty crazy.
What's he use for like climbing equipment?
So no,
His hands and feet.
so he's free solo. So free solo,
solo.
is nothing. It's
No,
literally
he
nothing.
doesn't even have any like
Nothing.
axe
No,
thing or
nothing,
Like,
no.
Oh my god!
but
Like,
no,
free solo was
what he
literally
does though
nothing.
is
I thought he just wasn't roped in,
This
but he
is-
had other equipment.
Nothing.
Rob, this is
Nothing.
one of the most difficult rock faces to climb in the world.
in the world. Yeah.
Like people climb
complete
it, but they
straight face.
climb it.
Do you know how many times a year that I probably fall and just walking?
No,
upstairs?
that's what I'm saying. This is how insane
This
it
guy's
is, Rob.
climbing
Because
a mountain.
there was another guy, and I think you're going to
Yes,
mention it, but
so I
there's
can go
another
into
guy who climbs it with rope. But
With
he climbs.
rope.
There's
He's
different
a
faces.
solo climber.
The whole face of the wall
Like
has
how
different
far
sections.
out they come, and
But
yeah,
the-
more difficult.
More
areas,
difficult.
yeah.
They're all difficult.
Roots.
I
They
mean,
call
Right.
them roots.
none of
right?
us would even
More
be able to go
experience.
like climb up 2 feet off
Yeah.
of this
I know,
thing.
I
Sure.
So yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
funny enough, in that documentary, he gets a lot of advice from another really famous climber called Tommy Caldwell.
Yes, yes.
Tommy Caldwell was in a Netflix documentary called The Dawn Wall.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is
So-
also, yep.
What he did is he climbed El Capitan, but he did
The most difficult face.
yeah.
of it,
So
right?
that had never been climbed before because it's literally people like it's impossible. It's like a
It comes out, right?
yeah, it's like a full just like super steep sheer rock with no grips. So they were like
very
gripping,
tiny grips, yeah,
they
it
were
was like-
gripping things with millimeters of, like
Millimeters,
their
like
fingertips.
the
Oh my
fingertips.
God.
And there was
And
actually
he was
What do they
missing
just
2
do?
fingers.
Pull-ups all day with
yeah,
fingers?
That's
Boom,
another
boom,
thing.
boom, boom.
Literally,
He
The
lost.
dude-
He
the
lost
dude
2 of his fingers.
Cut his he cut
He
his
was
index
sawing, or
finger off.
he was using a
What?
circular
A table saw.
Table saw, and he
Oh, I
cut
thought
2
he
of
was
his
cut it
fingers.
off.
I thought
and-
you made it sound like he was like, "This is too easy. Let me cut this finger off."
No, he did it by accident. He was
He's
but
like,
yeah, it was an
This is
accident.
this is bullshit. Let me cut this.
Yeah.
he
finger
was in
off.
the middle of practicing, I think, right? In the
No.
beginning, he was in the middle of practicing that. Then he lost his fingers, and he thought he'd
Yeah.
never climb again.
Yeah,
Isn't that
because
right?
that's like a very key part of the grip is with your
Yeah,
finger.
his 2 fingers.
Yeah,
in the
I
middle.
imagine.
It just made him he got better.
What do they do? They wear boots and they use their toes too to
Climb-
climb.
They have certain
climbing
climbing
shoes.
They use
shoes.
climbing
yeah.
shoes. Yeah.
So they live on portaledges, which is attached to the wall.
Right.
And they just do that, and then they climb for the day, they sleep, then they go back to where
Oh, they
left
sleep
off.
and they're hanging from a mountain.
Yes.
Yeah, on the side of
Oh
the
my
mountain.
God! What the frick?
So yeah. Funny enough, he climbed with a guy called Kevin Jorgensen, and this is the Dawn Wall. He had never done. He was a boulderer. He never did any sort of climbing, and for 6 years they were just at this mountain, and there was this one part they couldn't get past.
Yeah.
It was called the Traverse.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's literally the flattest piece of surface. Like you can barely
And
do
you have
it.
to jump like in and grab onto this millimeter of
that
a
was
thing.
the dyno.
I would get so sick watching it. I don't know.
Now,
if I could
now
even
these
watch
guys
it.
are not
The
free,
free
solo.
solo, you get sick.
The free solo. This guy wasn't doing a free solo. He was doing it. You have to do it with wires.
Still, even with wire.
But he
it's not like
practiced
there's
and
no
practiced.
risk
Yeah.
there. It's still pretty
Yeah.
crazy.
100%.
Sounds like
But
pretty
it took him a
nuts.
while to finally
I've
get
seen
across.
it climbed a few times. Even when they're just sitting at the edge, I'm like,
Yeah.
why are you doing that?
My hands are actually sweating right now thinking.
Oh
about
my
it.
God.
Literally.
But yeah, no, it's really good. The Dawn. It's funny
That's
because
a good one, too.
it's a story about
Oh my God!
friendship. Like,
I feel like watching all of this now.
yeah,
Yeah,
So
dude,
Yeah.
right? Right?
the guy
Wow.
Kevin, he was like he threw in the towel because he's like I can't get past the Traverse.
But you know what? Alex, the guy who did free solo, was
Yeah.
actually helping him.
Oh, he was?
He was in it. He was behind the scenes, right? Don't you remember?
In Dawnwall?
In Dawnwall, he
don't know.
talks
I
about
never
it.
saw Dawnwall.
Yeah, he
I
talks
think you're
about
thinking
it.
About,
Maybe am I reversing
You're
it again?
reversing it. One of the guy, Tommy Caldwell, is in
Tommy
free solo.
Caldwell was in
He's
free solo.
okay, so it was the other way
That's what
around.
Brian
So
was
Tommy
saying,
Caldwell
yeah,
was
yeah.
training him.
Wait,
When I
Brian,
was-
were we saying something? One of the guys threw it. He actually gave
Kevin
up.
gave up. He was like he was
Oh.
so defeated, and he's like, but then when Tommy got to a certain point in the wall, he was
encouraged
like,
him, right?
it was. Yeah, it was the first point where you
okay,
could
okay.
stand on the wall because it was
Yeah.
like I forget what it was called, but he was standing there and he's like, I don't want to do this alone. Like I'm gonna go and I'm gonna help Kevin get to where I am. And there's a really amazing.
Oh yeah,
moment.
where he waits for him and
Yeah.
waits for him to
Is
get
that-
up the wall.
Whoa,
yeah,
cool.
Wait, is that the
Yeah.
part where the dragon
it's almost
comes
at
in?
the
He
very-
blows a hole through the wall.
Yeah, and
and then there's
he-
all those guys
Yeah.
around.
No, he
Yes,
actually
yeah,
encouraged
yeah.
him. He wouldn't climb any further until
Yeah.
his friend caught up to him to where he was.
Yeah,
at
and there's a
that
moment
one.
like he
Oh,
waits
okay,
for
that's
3
pretty
days,
cool.
and he's like, I'm gonna wait for my hands to heal.
Yeah.
And then it's like the middle of the day. He gets on it, first attempt, he does it.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's awesome. Then after that, they just power right to the top.
Yeah, because they were at that
How
point they
long
were
is
pretty
this whole
close to the top.
climbing? How long? Like, does this
It took
go on
them
for,
like 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks.
2
I think
weeks.
to run
What?
the
How are they
mountain.
eating?
They bring food with them and they bring the thing and
They
they
couldn't have anything.
they cook and stuff right in the thing and they're literally
They're
hanging with one
cooking?
little thing. They nail it in. They have this tent that just
I
hangs
have to watch that. I
off
haven't
the
seen
wall
that.
and they
that
just
sounds crazy.
They sit in there.
Wait,
that
how are they
thing.
eating? Are they eating like MREs?
They
or
have
something?
thing that hangs from the ceiling.
They're
it
hanging
cooks.
like a pot and
a
boiling
pot,
water.
yeah,
and
and they
crap?
boil it with a little
Shut
fire.
up.
Yeah, I swear to God. And
Oh
they
my
make
God, I
soup
can't.
and stuff,
That's
and they
insane.
eat right
What
inside
the
the
hell?
tent.
I didn't even know
and they
this.
show
Why don't they just
sh-
bring rations?
And they show you like outside, and there's both sides of the tent are wide open. You can and you look at it and it's just if you fell out of that tent, you're dead. You go straight down and just like
Ooh, I just got
thousands
God,
of
it's
feet to your death.
crazy, man.
That is so
Yeah,
crazy.
it's
But that's-
Why would
it's
people?
crazy.
I gotta find a way to hang from the side of this wall and
Dude.
like make some hard-boiled eggs. What
Yeah,
the-
it's-
huh?
Well,
You're
that's
on-
like part of what free solo's about. Is like, why is this guy?
How
doing
are they
this? Like,
doing
why
that?
do you do this?
The free solo guy doesn't even have
Do you
food,
know
does
he?
what he
No,
has?
nothing,
He has a little like
Powder
I guess you would call
bag.
powder bag. And he just puts powder,
Chalk.
puts it in his hands, chalk. I'm sorry, chalk. Yep.
Yeah, and he
That's
just climbs.
Oh,
That's it.
my God.
And he
What
has
a-
his shoes.
What a cheater. He has shoes
Dude,
and powder.
He has his shoes
and
and
what a
powder. That's it.
crybaby.
And it took him like what 8 hours?
I
How long
climbed
did it
these
take him to
mountains
climb
with-
it?
8 hours.
I think.
I climb with just my teeth.
I climb with lotion on my hands.
I use lotion. I make it more difficult. I
I
use
get
baby
myself
oil.
all slicked up first. I
Yeah.
go bare-assed.
Dude, it's yeah, man.
All right. No, I
But
can't
those are
believe
good
how much
ones,
stuff
man.
there is to watch. I just can't even. I gotta want to go home right now and watch
Dude,
that.
that's
That
what I'm
sounds
saying.
Crazy.
Man.
And
All
that's
the
all on
holiday
Netflix.
movies.
Dawnwall's on Netflix.
Free Solo's
Free Solo's on
Disney
Disney Plus.
All right. Well, I got that.
And
Check that
Icarus,
out.
Icarus is on Netflix. And of course, the other one I wanted to
Screwball,
mention,
Netflix? Sorry.
Screwball's on Netflix. And I didn't
my
mention
God.
I was watching the events of World War II in color because I like
Well, you
history
were
stuff.
there.
Techno-
and I was
color?
there, Technicolor.
Color.
There you go.
Color.
It's actually pretty cool because they actually, I guess, like the Ted Turner guy when he did all the colorizations of the different movies.
Yeah.
They made it look really cool. Like everything's obviously in black and white, but they made it colored just the way it would look if it were, you
Yeah.
were there, or whatever. And it's really neat the way they did that. But it's the World War II in color and the things they talk about. They're just
I'm
they're
sure.
Well,
disturbing
there's that.
some of the stuff.
Well, you know what's funny?
Well,
You were just. I shouldn't
it's
say
just-
funny, but
Yeah, what?
well, you had just mentioned the World War II thing. Remember? It just reminded me. There's that other great. They made it in color, but not just that, but they added sound to it, and it's so insane to see it. They did. Peter Jackson, remade all that World War I footage, and he made a documentary called "They Will Not Grow Old."
Yeah, that's
And
we watched that one. It was really good.
That just came out last year.
Yeah.
It's probably going to win best documentary feature, and it's insane. It's unbelievable what Peter Jackson was able to do. He added sound to World War I footage and color,
crap.
and it's incredible to
Yeah.
watch that World War I footage, and it's really amazing documentary. Highly recommended. That I don't know where you can find. I think they did say will be on Disney Plus. It's not yet, but it's coming.
Didn't we watch that? I thought we did. See
No, we
it.
did.
see
You
it.
and I did.
Where
watch
did we
that,
watch
yeah.
it? On what platform?
I
we
think
watched
we,
it?
might have gone to
Oh,
one
we
of
could
those
have gone-
websites.
we
went
could
to
have
one of
gone
those.
somewhere
I went to
else.
one of those websites. You know what I'm talking
We
about.
went
It's a website.
to
It's,
a
what's the
special
website?
invitation.
Special website.
Special
Yeah,
invitation.
I was invited
Subreddit.
by Disney. Peter Jack. I watched it at Peter Jackson's house.
Yeah.
I got to mention this one while we're talking about heights and craziness,
Yeah.
man. But there's a 2008 British American biographical documentary by James Marsh. It's called Man on Wire.
Yes.
If you haven't seen that, dude, you got to see it. It's
Yeah.
so amazing.
Amazing.
It chronicles Philippe Petit. I hope I'm saying that right. I think it's Petit.
Didn't he walk across? Was it the Twin Towers?
Yes.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I
In
think I might have seen that one.
1974.
I did see that one.
It's based on a book called To Reach the Clouds.
Right.
So it, but the thing is, it's filmed like a heist movie because what they're doing is illegal.
It's illegal, yeah.
So they have to hide all this stuff. So they're pretending to be like journalists, and they're trying to figure out how they're going to get the wire to span from one side to another. And I don't want to give it away because it comes to a real crescendo. It's amazing, but like the whole movie from start to end, like I'm not like trying to use hyperbole, but it's breathtaking.
Yeah.
Like there's parts where I literally just was like gasping.
I've never watched it.
I could not
I've
believe
always
what they were
wanted to
doing.
watch it.
It's an amazing,
Yeah.
amazing film.
Is that the same
Really?
guy?
How
Is
to
that
do
the
that,
same guy?
man?
Because I saw there was another one about a guy who did a high wire across the Grand Canyon,
I don't know.
and they had a big thing about it and they've televised it and everything.
Yeah, they've done the legal ones, right? And they're adjusting. For
I think
wind
it
or
might have been
whatever.
the same
This
guy.
guy had to do stuff all like undercover. Like
didn't
it was
know
just
that.
like
Oh,
was
I wanna-
totally
I
illegal.
wanna watch
You had to
even
figure
more
out
now.
even how to get in there and how to get like secret filming
Oh
stuff.
my
And
God,
this
I
is from the
didn't know that.
'70s.
Really?
Yeah.
What? I did
So-
not know that whole story. I have to watch that.
Yeah,
for
it's
sure.
actual footage from it, and then the present day interviews with participants, people who were involved in it. So that's why I mean it's like a high school because they show like different aspects of
Sure.
it. You know how like we watch in Ocean's 11 or whatever, and they go, "Here's how the plan comes together."
Yeah.
And it's kind of filmed that way.
Yeah.
So even parts where it's just conversation, it's still like exciting. You're like, "Oh my god, how did they plan this?" And like how many times the plan changed, and just like any little problem with that plan is going to cost a life. And several arrests, and there are arrests made in this movie.
Right, okay.
So,
Fair enough.
but I highly recommend that
All right.
Man on
Dude,
Wire. It's called.
all right,
So,
and that's on
if you
Netflix.
haven't seen
Or
it.
that's
Cool, man.
Actually, I'm not sure. Brian, can you look to see if it's available anywhere? I'm sure, like you can
I think
definitely.
I
I think
I've
Prime
seen
Video
it.
might have it.
Okay.
It's definitely
okay.
been on streaming at one point. 'Cause that's how I saw it.
Yeah. Okay, that makes
I
sense.
don't know why.
But I wish I could see that in the movie theater. I should watch it on my friggin'
on IMAX
projector. Oh
Imagine
yeah.
that
Oh my gosh.
in IMAX, that would be insane, man. I'd love that.
I get scared just hiking up to IMAX. It's 4 stories.
I know, right?
I'm on that top floor. Like, oh,
yeah.
Rob can't even do roof work on his house without getting freaking
I can't, dude.
afraid of that.
I'm mad scared. Like snow shovel on my
Yeah.
roof.
Oh, really?
I'm like, what if I fall down? There's one very small flight.
Are you afraid of heights, Rob? Like you have like
yeah. I
like
hate
a
heights.
legitimate fear of
Yeah.
heights. Well, okay.
I used to live on the 13th floor of basically a skyscraper. Wow.
He's used to being close to the ground, so what do you expect?
Right,
You know what I'm
fair.
saying?
That's fair. It's fair.
Yeah, I like being right here on the floor.
Yeah.
It's on Prime Video. I don't
Prime
know
Video,
about-
okay,
I
cool.
don't know
That's
about
on Prime.
Netflix though.
There you go. Prime
Yeah,
Video.
Prime Video,
Dude,
so
so,
we're good
yeah,
there.
you
I'll
can
have to
stream
watch.
that,
I'll
but-
have to watch that. I think it
Yeah.
sounds like one I've seen already. It sounds like something I've already seen, but
It's
I'll check
totally
it out.
worth watching.
All right, I'll definitely check that
and
out.
The last one I just mentioned real quick is totally, and again, opposite. This one's, I say it's a mockumentary, but it really isn't. It's a documentary.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's so freaking silly, and it's called King of Kong Fistful of Quarters.
Okay.
And it's basically about Walter Day, who's the founder of Twin Galaxies and arcades, and these guys who were playing back in the 80s, Donkey Kong and Pac-Man.
Oh, nice.
And it centers around two main guys. One guy is called Billy Mitchell, and he has the quote-unquote record for Donkey Kong.
Oh, really?
And then this guy who's Steve Wiebe, he's I think he's a high school science teacher, decides at one point that he's going to buy one and break this record, and it's all about like these two pitted against each other.
Sure.
Really? Actually, it's
But
pretty
the
cool.
guy is so bizarre and successful, and it's weird. He's like the guy Billy Mitchell. He's like a caricature. He's a silly human being.
Really?
But he's technically like successful. He has like this restaurant and a line of different foods and stuff.
Right.
But he's like just a silly, like you'll see. I'm telling you, watch a movie. But this guy has like, he wears these powered ties, and they're like these big fat ties. He has like a mullet, and he's like being 100% serious. But you
Yeah.
can't tell. You're like, is this really happening? Like, what is happening?
I don't know if you're a real person.
But if you love anything like retro or going back, like arcade games,
Yeah.
and like these people would memorize hundreds and hundreds of patterns.
Yeah, well,
to
that-
get through these.
oh, hell
boards,
Yeah,
dude.
That's what
It's
they're all
hardcore
about, though.
gamers.
It's all the algorithms and
I would
things.
love that.
And then they're talking about like the glitch. Have you ever gotten to the glitch? Like they don't want to even talk to you if you don't get to a certain level. They're like, okay, waste of time.
Do you
Yeah, it's like
remember the
no
games? I don't know if you guys remember the games, but I used to have these like little handheld games.
Okay.
And you'd get basketball, football, and I think there were Geicos or something. I think they were called
okay.
Geico.
Yeah.
And it was just a dot, and there were
They're
just
probably
red
made by
dots on this
Coleco.
Coleco.
I think they're made by Coleco.
And you
yeah.
just have a pad, a double pad, and
Yep.
you're to get the score.
the whole field's going.
Yeah, and it's like there's little dots in the middle, and you got to like get your dot to a certain area, and then hit the shoot button, and it shoots. If the dot
Right.
gets in front of you, it blocks the shot. But
You got
played
something,
so
Brian?
much. You played so much.
Well, did you get something?
What?
Oh, I
Did
think
you
you
get
had something there.
You got something, Brian. Brian, you're over there.
What do you got there?
Alive
Did I
over
was
there?
looking
You
up?
alive back there?
So you
I
blocked
thought you
out.
had something.
I was looking something up because I remembered it, but keep going.
All right,
But
go
anyway,
ahead,
it was.
yeah.
Did you see that one? The fistful of quarters.
The fistful of quarters.
I literally zoned out because I was so focused on what
King
I
of
was
Kong.
trying to find here.
Let me finish my thought here.
Go ahead.
Oh,
All right.
sorry.
So
All
anyway,
right, go
it was
ahead.
like you were talking about the algorithms with the things. Is that you play it so many times, you start to realize that these dots go a certain time at certain, and you can play, and you know, okay, it's going to be here and there. You just know the pattern after a while. So back in the day, those games were all like that. They all had an algorithm. They weren't very complicated. If you played it enough, you started to figure it out, and it actually got to the part where it was boring because you knew how to beat it every time. But yeah,
Sounds like you were in the movie.
There we go.
yeah, I could have been.
Yeah.
No, but I'm telling you, do not wait another minute. You watch this today.
Dude, there's so many
it's
good documentaries.
So funny. It is so funny.
A lot of those I'm gonna have to start watching. Like
Definitely.
I've seen some good ones, but a lot of those I gotta start watching. And like there's so many good documentaries out there. There's so many good shows, TV shows. Netflix, like we always talk about, is always adding new shows every other day. They got their originals. Like the one Dad I know you were gonna be talking about today. You started watching that, which is I know it's like I don't know. Like I feel like every other day there's all these new shows to watch.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
It's hard to keep up with the shows and the movies and the documentaries.
I still
and
watch
all
that
but-
Scorsese film. I didn't even finish that.
Oh,
yet.
yeah,
I
The
haven't even
Irishman
started
came
it.
out
The
on
Irishman
Wednesday.
came out on Wednesday.
The Mandalorian on Friday.
Right.
the new episode of
Mandalorian
that.
every Friday. I have to get that. But that was there. That's
watched
easy
the
to
fourth
watch
one,
because
right?
they're only half-hour episodes. I think the
Yeah,
fourth
they are
one's
quick. I'm like, come on.
the fourth one I think is 40 minutes.
Yeah.
This
Okay.
one's that just came out.
Dude, hashtag Baby Yoda. You seen him?
Yeah.
It's freaking cute.
He's adorable. He's
Yeah.
really adorable, and he's powerful as shit, which is kind of insane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's weird. I'm like,
nuts.
what Luke Skywalker was doing all this training? He's a little bitch.
Yeah, I
Yoda's
know.
like a baby and he's already better than him. I don't get it.
I know.
Yeah, yeah.
Which I thought the same thing. What's the girl in the episodes? What is 7, 8,
Oh,
9?
it's the New Hope and not
Oh, A New Hope.
No, in
Oh
the-
no,
most
Daisy,
recent-
Daisy Ridley. Daisy
Daisy
Ridley.
Ridley.
Well, yeah, what's her
Ray,
character?
Ray.
Okay, Ray.
Ray.
What? How is she battling the dude in the first?
Yeah.
Yeah,
she's
the
like
first
5 minutes
time-
into it. She's already got
She's
comp,
already
right?
beating
First
him
time-
up.
Did you
first
think
time she
that
ever
a little
picks
Yes,
it
I
up.
know. I thought it. Of course, I
I'm like,
did.
what the hell?
Yeah, it's a little
did.
contrived, I think.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Yeah, a
because
little
it's just
bit. Yeah.
it's
Oh my
you know.
God.
She picks it up for the
She doesn't
first
even know
time
what
and
the
she just
hell's
starts
going on. She's
wielding
just
that
going
thing
nuts.
like she's like
She's like,
mastered.
oh yeah, like she's like, it felt like the Matrix. Like she just got plugged in. She's
Yeah,
like,
right.
I
Yeah.
already know saber fighting.
Yep.
There's a-
Dude. It was weird.
So anyway, there's this great show. If you want to talk about shows real quick, I'm watching this show. I just binge watched the whole thing, and it's so good. I love it. I think it's great. It's where I can't wait till episode season 2 come out. I just finished episode 1, and it's called Living with Yourself. It's a Netflix series with Paul Rudd, and I don't want to tell too much about the story. I just
Well,
want
give
people in.
us a little.
Yeah, give the
synopsis of it.
synopsis.
I know you said you were going
tell
to
us
pull
what
it
it's
up.
about at least.
All right, so it's basically Paul Rudd is this guy. He works for a marketing firm, and he's married to this Australian woman. You know, his wife is Australian, and
Isling
you know,
Day.
and they've been together for a while. And it takes place where now it's getting to that point in his life, like every other guy, where he's starting to just hit a rut, where he's just not happy with his life, not happy with his job.
Right.
But at one time, he was great. Great storyteller, and he loved his job and all of this kind of stuff.
Oh yeah,
And
'cause he pitches ideas.
yeah,
and
and he
stuff,
pitches
right?
ideas. He was this great pitch man, you know. And
Yeah.
he was at work. It starts off with not working. It's just, you can tell he's just not in it. He's just not. I don't want to be there. He's just and there's going to be a pitch today. So he goes into the meeting room with everybody, and he's ready for the pitch. And he's like, "Yeah, you got to give me another week on the pitch or whatever." And the guy, there's another guy in there. Of course, there's always a rival, right? There's somebody
Right.
who wants to beat.
It's
the
like
other
a
guy
friend
at
of
it.
me though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
like
he's
a
like,
fake
well,
friend.
if he doesn't
Right.
have it, I got something. So he picks it up and he
Right,
pitches
sure.
his pitch and all, and he gets the the vote to go with his pitch and whatnot.
Right,
so he's,
sure.
of course, Paul Rudd's like, yeah, he's pissed off about that and all. And the guy's his rival, but the guy says, oh, you got to check out this place. It's a spa. I went there and they have
Yeah,
this
'cause he
whole
wants to
thing
know
that
how he got that
rejuvenates
zest,
you, right?
right?
That
How he
zest.
got all
Yeah, how
this-
did you get this?
Right.
How'd you
Great
turn into this
ideas
great
now.
idea guy?
Yeah.
And he tells him it's coin, it's bank, but it's worth it, man. It'll change your whole life. So Paul Rudd goes there, and that's really as far
You
as
don't
I
wanna
want to
give it
take
too
it.
much.
But
Right. Sure.
he goes there, and it just
Let's
from
just
there
say
on you'll find
changes
it
his whole
changes.
life.
It does
Sure
change
does.
his whole
You would
life.
say.
But it's very interesting, the story. It's funny because it's, of course, Paul Rudd, and there's comic, there's comedy in the movie.
Comic relief,
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just a great story. I think it's
It's
really good.
funny
And
as all.
All right. Living with yourself.
living with
Here we go.
yourself.
Right.
So yeah,
On
definitely
So if
check
you don't
that
have
one out.
enough to watch after all the stuff we talked
Yeah.
about,
Yeah. Exactly, man.
You
Yeah.
got content till Christmas.
I know.
Yeah.
Really do.
People are gonna freaking lose their jobs. I'm banging it today. I'm watching Free Fall or whatever that thing is called.
For Dawn Wall, Free Wall, and then of course
Red Wall.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
of course don't forget you also have to you have the loosely related podcast.
Yes,
of course,
right.
don't forget about that
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah,
Yep.
and if you haven't already, and squeeze between all these videos, you have to watch that interview we just did with Joe's friend
Nestor.
and producer Nestor.
Yes.
That
came out
was so good.
That came out yesterday.
Yeah, please watch it. I think you'll find it really, really interesting. If you
Yeah,
have
yeah.
any interest in movies, television, just
The
about
industry.
Just
hearing
that
different
industry
people.
and how
Yeah,
to get into the industry and
It was,
what it
good.
takes. It's fascinating.
Yeah.
Fascinating story. So, yeah.
Oh, but no, he had some stories that I was like I couldn't believe, and I love film and I love all that, and his stories like I barely talked that whole episode because I was just like, oh my, this is fascinating.
Yeah.
This is fascinating.
it really was awesome.
But yeah,
So,
But
yeah.
check that out. Check out our interview with Nestor. And if you didn't get a chance, like about a month or two ago, we did an interview with a corrections officer,
Ray.
Ray. Right, that was a good one. So if
we
you
have some
have
more
a chance, go
interviews
back,
coming
check that
up,
out.
and we have
Yeah.
some more coming up. Maybe he'll come
Yeah,
back. We'll have Nestor back again.
Sure.
I think we're planning on having maybe a law student come on.
Law
a friend of
student,
ours.
Okay.
my friend Kevin, actually the former Marine, my friend Kev,
a
the
Marine.
current Marine,
The current Marine.
he
Former
was,
friend, they're not talking
formerly
anymore.
in boot camp. Yeah, no, he's coming home actually for Christmas. Luckily, can't wait to see you, Kev. He's coming home, and I'm gonna try to coordinate him maybe coming up here. Maybe he'll sit in. Maybe we'll do some kind of an external thing. But yeah, so we'll hopefully have him on soon. Yeah, man. I mean,
And we're going to try to have, like we said, we're going to have those polls up on Instagram and Facebook.
yep.
So look out for those.
Mm-hmm.
And we might have some upcoming contests to get people
yeah.
more involved. So keep an eye out for that.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
You guys have anything going out?
I think that's pretty much it. Like I said, if you guys want, like always, if you can find us looselyrelatedpodcast.com. You can always find us at our Twitter, which is LRPodcasts. You can get us on Instagram at loosely_related. And of course, you can like and subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play Music, iHeartRadio, and you can watch us and like and subscribe on YouTube. And
we also appreciate the feedback on our Instagram Instagram page that we put out, and we finally got some feedback from them. So we're happy for those. Thank you for that feedback.
Yeah,
appreciate
for sure, 100%.
Like we say in the Bronx, we hate to flat leave you, but it's time to kick rocks.
All right,
peace out.
Guys.
You started laughing and I started laughing.
It's not upset. It's funny.